My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jakey Boy and I are going to break down the entire UFC 313 fight card. We're going to give you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings fantasy plays. But before we look forward to this spectacular main event, let's look back for a few minutes. Jacob was at UFC Vegas 103. The internet accused Jacob of being accosted by Cody Brunnage's coach. This is a video, but it's a still image for your sake right now. That is Coach Montoya yelling at somebody in the stands to shut the F up. Concurrently, you can hear Jacob say, "Let's go, Cody." People connected two dots that weren't there and accused Jakey Boy of getting screamed at, but it turns out it was this dude with the beard and the fist. What the hell was that whole situation?
That was pretty wild. I was at the Apex, and we were all ready to go for the Cody fight. That's one of the main reasons I was there, to watch Charles and Cody fight. I'm standing down by the railing or whatever, and Cody comes out. I made eye contact. He nods at me, because I know Cody. I talked to Cody through Instagram and stuff like that. I'm doing the, I feel good about it, Cody, hyping him up, not like too over the top. I'm hyping, let's go, Cody. Like, I feel good about this. Let's have some fun, get them all up. Music starts, right? Mariah Carey, fantasy. He starts making us walk, and I'm down down by the bleachers, right where they're walking out, like right there to the left. And all of a sudden, the guy above me, I don't know who it is, but it turns out it's this guy, says, "Hey, Cody, fight, don't quit. Fight, don't quit." And you see Cody kind of like, what the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck, to say that on some, like, a guy's walking? Like, what the fuck? And obviously, Coach Montoya did not fucking like that at all. Because, so when I first heard it, I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm just going to drown this guy out. Like, I don't want Cody hearing this bullshit or whatever. So I got even louder, like, "Let's go, Cody. Let's go, Cody," like to drown this guy out. So on the broadcast, I think you hear, "Let's go, Cody." And then Coach Montoya going, "Shut the fuck up." which and I got tagged in messages like, "I can't believe you're just supporting Cody. How could he act like that?" Guys, he was talking to the guy that was calling Cody a fucking quitter on his walk. It wasn't me. And then, so Cody goes, lock of the week, goes on to win the fight, absolutely dominates. He actually did look great, and then he got caught a little bit. It was like, it really was. In that moment, everyone was like, you feel the whole arena, just the energy of it being like, oh no, here we go again. And I was like, oh God, the mouthpiece came out. I'm like, come on, Cody. And I literally was recording the entire fight. I don't have that part because I stopped the recording. I put my phone down. I was like, come on, Cody, come on, come on, just get through it, buddy. And then bam, lands an overhand right, bam, knee. The ref stops the fight because he knocks out Julian's mouthpiece too. Boom, 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 lands right hand, drops him, finish it up. So then I was hot because I was already thinking about this guy calling Cody a quitter, and I was already a little bit pissed off about that. So I was a little bit hot. I was a little bit juiced up, a little bit of alcohol flowing through the system. And if people don't know me, like, I really am, like, I'm a cool, calm, collected dude. But when it comes to competition and talking shit, I'll do anything, whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. So Cody won the fight. And I immediately thought this guy, because Cody did not quit. It was the opposite of quitting. Came through, won the fight. I turned to this guy and I said, "How about that quitter? How about that quitter?" And then he turns to me, like we're literally 3 seats away from each other. His poor wife is like in between us, sweet lady. He turns to me, he's like shrugging, like he didn't quit. Like, you're right. Like, he wasn't being, there was no animosity with him towards me or whatever, but I was so fired up. He just looked at me and was like, "You're right, he didn't quit." So I said, "How about that quitter? How about that quitter? Fuck you." And it's going to be the lock of the week video. I have it recorded because I had a little head camera, but it was the hardest "fuck you" I've ever given in my life. And then I turned to whatever, and that fucking set him off. He was not happy at all. He immediately went to, "What the fuck, motherfucker?" And in my head, because I've been playing this instigator role my entire life, right? I thought in my head, here we go. I'm going to get this guy thrown out. This is going to be beautiful. I'm about to get this guy thrown out. Because the second he matched my energy, right? Because he wasn't doing anything. Yeah. The second he matched I said, "Fuck you." And I turned and I started filming Cody again. And I could hear him right here. He's right there. He's like, "What the fuck, motherfucker? I will fuck you up." I go, "Somebody get your man, security. Somebody get your man." And then out of nowhere, This lady comes out like fucking scared the shit out of me, goes, "Hey, you need to calm down." And I go, "Me?" Like there's even recording of my voice. I go, "Me? It's him." And my voice literally is like high pitched. I'm literally like, "And he's just my friend. I'm just rooting for my friend. He's the one doing it." And then another security guard comes around front, points right at me, goes, "Hey, you need to calm down." And in that moment, I was like, "You're right. That's my bad. That was my bad. I need to calm down." And literally after like 2 minutes after it happened, I turned to the guy and was like, "Hey, listen, that was my bad. I got a little bit fired up. That was my fault. I apologize." And he was cool with it. And then like another 5 minutes went by. And I thought about it more, and I was like, wow, I really was kind of an asshole right there. So I was like, fuck that guy for saying, Cody quit. But in that moment, I should have responded. So I apologized again to him. We took that picture. I guess he's a DraftKings guy that some people know on Twitter or stuff like that. So we ended up talking after the fight stuff. He seemed like a cool guy. He, basically said, like, yeah, Cody didn't quit. Like, congratulations to him. So he was normal about it. And then I actually apologized to the security guard as well for getting a little bit too hot-headed. So I could be normal, but I was fucking hot there. And I fuck you, right in his face. Oh, and this is the best part about the whole thing, and then I'll be done with this story. During it too, when I'm like, "Oh, get your mans, or whatever," I hear him say, "I'll beat your ass, you redheaded fuck." in my head, I was like, "Oh," it was like, "Oh, that one fucking hurt." Like I'm trying to act cool. Like, "Oh God!" And the best part was after we were like making up and stuff, like we were cool about it or whatever. I literally took my hat off and I said, "But just so you know, I'm not red." I literally had to make a point to be like, "Just so you know, I am not redheaded." He's like, "Yeah, I don't even know why I said that." He said,
"I know why he said it."
Yeah,
the fucking red hair is why he said it. But it seems like he had a great time. I'm looking forward to that Lock of the Week footage. And Lock of the Week has been quite a little streak. Just a month ago, people were telling you to go play in traffic, maybe jump off a bridge or two, and just really sending you down a dark path because you missed a few Lock of the Weeks in a row. And now here we are, 4 of the last 5 that you hit, 3 in a row, an 86% ROI, all picking dogs. How streaky it is.
Yeah, just that's what I told people. I try to tell people during the streaks, it's like, it's going to happen. You're picking all dogs. It's going to happen. Like, just stay the course. It's not even like and this isn't even like it's like a paid thing. I'm telling you,
free.
Stay the course, guys. Don't worry. We're going to work through whatever. It's a free thing. And the only reason I'm telling you that is because we got like 3 or 4 years of data saying that in the end, every single year I'm up. So it's like fucking just ride the train out, and it is what it is. And we're going to fucking kill it this year. So.
Now, Lock of the Week crushed last week. Safety Parlay also did well last week. Safety Parlay this year, tough to do. This year seems to have more giant favorites losing than every other year. At UFC Vegas 103, of the 5 fights on the main card, 4 underdogs won. And yet...
You got I don't know if you heard it, but after the Cheppy fight, there was a Safety Parlay in the Apex crowd. I met
From
a guy...
you?
No, not for me. A guy I met. There was I can't remember what your name was, but you were fucking awesome. There was a guy that I met at the Apex. He was there watching the fights. He talked to me before he went in. He's like, "Jacob," or whatever. And the 2 things he said was, "Wow, you're a lot bigger and taller than I would have expected." Literally, it's 100% what he said. But he was actually a really cool guy. We were talking in between a few of the fights or whatever, so it was nice meeting you. And he did the Safety Parlay after Cheppy won, and then during the main event, at one point I heard, "We want picks, $10 a month." So he's a cool guy.
It's a revolution. And that $10 a month will get you the Safety Parlay. Listen, nobody cares more about the Safety Parlay than me. Literally nobody. This thing stresses me out. It brings me all sorts of joy. I have to get up and leave during half the fights. But the Safety Parlay has been hitting at an 81% accuracy. A 37% ROI. That's from one single bet. It's a parlay that I put on the board every single week for premium members. If you want to check out the Safety Parlay for this card, for UFC 313, the odds are pretty good. It was minus 119, which safe is the key word in this damn thing. 81% accuracy. You can check it out now at WeWantPicks.com. Just click Become a Member at the top. We do have some new content I'm going to run you through very quickly. Jacob has a brand new video. 20,000 of you are going to watch this video. Somewhere about there. About 20,000 of you are going to watch my quick pick video. Jacob's Prop Hunter video, which goes up on Fridays, it's brand new. It's getting like 5,000 views. Those 5,000 people last week hit a plus 650 prop bet. The week before that, they hit 2 different plus 900 prop bets. The week before that, they hit a different plus 600 prop bet. And that's as long as this video has existed. Check this damn video out. We're adding new content. I can't trust the algorithm to push it to you. So make sure you have subscribed. You're clicking the little bell notification thing. And check.
We've been
check.
pythons, haven't we?
So stupid. Okay. That got weird fast. So that
not as weird as Luana Santos. You see that?
No, what'd she do? Oh, I did see that.
I bet you did.
Anyway, so that's one of the new videos we have. Another new video we have is Jacob does a full card breakdown, and he does it in like 15 minutes, and he sort of changed up how it's done with keys to victory. That one is getting pushed to your algorithm, it seems, because full card breakdown is a term that we use here pretty often. And then the third is myself and former Strikeforce World Champion Josh Thompson get together, and we talk about different random topics in MMA. The last video we put up, the last topic, was how the hell the UFC is going to fix this eye poke problem. We had 2 main events in a row that were grossly affected by eye poke. So check that stuff out. All of this content is on this channel right here on We Want Picks. So just be subscribed and check the feed every now and then. The last content update is to add room for all these new videos. We're moving some of the hyper-specific ones. The prize picks and the underdog videos are wildly specific videos that tailor to a wildly specific crowd. They have moved to our second channel. We've got another channel called Picks Nation. This is the logo. You will get the underdog video, the prize picks video there. There's other videos as well, but those are the only 2 from the We Want Picks channel that are moving. So just do all the things and keep this front of mind. Finally, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. You guys know the drill by now. We've got the greatest offering on the planet. It is freaking $10 a month. I always tell myself I'm going to make a slide just articulating how insignificant $10 is. Just pictures of all the random bullshit that's $10 that you waste money on, like 2-ply toilet paper instead of 1-ply. That cost difference alone give you a month of premium.
How much are honey packs at the gas station?
A honey bun? What's a honey pack? Is this a Wade thing? These the John Jones dick pills? What are you getting at the gas station? My fat ass said honey buns, and I'm pretty sure you're talking about rollers or some shit. Anyway.
Can we talk about, too, just because I just saw somebody mention something about damage, and I just thought about this today, just thinking about fights and how fights go and how fights are scored and stuff like that. Here's a question for you. Maybe you and your buddy Josh, you can talk about this one.
Dude, there was a lot of hate in that. Your buddy Josh. That's how Tiffany talks about you. That's literally how Tiffany. You texted Jacob again. That is how Tiffany talks about you. But go ahead.
Smack her mouth. Here's my question. Okay?
Yeah.
You guys can answer this in the comments in the chat. This is a serious question. It's actually a serious question.
Yeah.
Do we put too much weight into damage when there is a cut in a certain capacity, right? Because it feels like all cuts are kind of scored the same. And if you get cut and there's a lot of blood, it's really hard to win that round if you're the one bleeding in a close round, where a lot of cuts are the most insignificant strikes, and it's one strike. And a lot of times it's one strike and it's just the way the seam grazes, or it's almost like a missed hit or whatever like that. But if somebody is cut, it just feels like, I'm not thinking of an example like in particular, but I was just thinking about the fights. Like
I've got an example as soon as you said that.
But it doesn't feel like just an insignificant cut. Like, and you can tell when it's going to be boom, like a big elbow, you split somebody open, fine, great. That should be scored as a big damaging shot. But like these weird little cuts that happen and stuff, and somebody just starts bleeding, it just feels like it is what it is, you know?
I think that's a great topic. I'll add it to our list. But my thoughts very, very quickly, Shin Matsumoto is a great example. He had the equivalent of a paper cut at his hairline. It was the equivalent of a paper cut. It was a very insignificant, meaningless cut. But because there was some blood, he got destroyed.
And here's what I would say, because then it's like, because Meatball said, I think it's too subjective. which it would be hard to tell. But I think this is what you do. Anytime there is a cut in a round,
see where it came from?
They wait to score the round until they can see the replay of how the cut was made. So, because then you could score, because then it's like, oh, I thought it was this, but oh, it was a headbutt. Oh, then it means nothing or whatever. Or it was, oh, maybe it was just, or maybe it actually was a good shot that landed that split him open, or maybe it was an elbow. So you can throw that replay up in 30 seconds, and then they still have 30 seconds to score the round. It's like, oh, okay, so actually it was just kind of a grazing shot, so I'm not going to score. You know what I mean? It's just like we have all these abilities. It's like we should be better at what we do.
I don't disagree. Maybe I will talk to Josh about breaking that down, because the headbutt's a good example, because it could be an unintentional headbutt. It'll cause some eye swelling. It'll cause whatever. That damage is there for the next 2 rounds, and it'll just look bad.
Right, yeah. And Dominic Cruz has talked about that before, too. He's like, I don't know how he worded or whatever, but yeah, it's basically if you get cut in the first round, okay, that lost you the first round. But if you're bleeding in the second round because of a cut you got in the first round, it's like a double, what do they call that? Like a double fault type thing?
Double jeopardy?
Yeah, like a double, yeah.
You found guilty twice of the same cut?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm with you, man. If we go back to the premium pitch, I'm going to speed it up because I know how you people get. Fight Simulator, brand new tool that we have added to premium. It simulates fights 100,000 times. It brings in historical information like grappling stats, striking stats. It brings in implied probability, fantasy scoring. It simulates the fights 100,000 times, and it spits out those outcomes. And those outcomes are doing a lot of things for a lot of people. If we're on the DraftKings fantasy track here, we have the best DraftKings ownership projections on the planet. So premium membership, which is only $10 for an entire month, gets you a whole suite of bets, picks, and tools, as well as fantasy information like the DraftKings ownership projections. You're going to get a tool called the Data Analyzer. If you're watching this for entertainment purposes, we appreciate you. If you're watching it to just copy-paste some insight, place some bets, we appreciate you. If you're watching us as part of your just suite of research that you do, I implore you to sign up for premium membership, because we have a tool called the Data Analyzer. This is everything. You never need to leave that webpage to do everything from full tape study to historical data, future fights. If you're the type of person that's trying to break down fights 2, 3, 4 weeks from now to get ahead of the line movement, Data Analyzer is built out just that far with everything you could ever need. We also have more than just me and Sleepy Jake. We got Artem, we got BetSam, we have an artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is picking fights based solely off historical data, doing so at a remarkable accuracy. And everything that we offer is available inside of the app. Just go search We Want Picks in the App Store, download the app, you get push notifications. While we were filming this, well, since we've been live, we got a push notification that the DraftKings content has been updated and it is available for UFC 313. That is why you want to have the app on your phone, so you don't miss bets, you don't miss line movement. And here's the 4 events you're going to get. I cannot express enough how insane premium membership is and how much there is to offer. I cannot express enough. There's no tiers, there's no pack, everything, $10.
Honey pack?
Here's the 4 events you're going to get. You're going to get UFC London, UFC Mexico, UFC 313, and UFC Vegas 104 next week. All of that available right now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's $10 freaking dollars. And here's the address if you want to send something for the vlog. We film a vlog for every single pay-per-view. I have a package to my left that I've been teasing is the most insane thing that's ever been sent to us. Make sure you check out the vlog on Sunday after the fights to see what the hell was in this. And if you want to send something,
I like how it's like sent to us, but I've never seen any of this shit.
Because you haven't been coming.
So you just keep it all.
You're going to get this. You will get this. This is for you. It was very clear it's for you. You will get this. Are you going to come over Saturday?
I am undecided. Did you want to tell people about your weekend? By the way, another part of the Apex was I literally thought that it was going to be the worst fucking night of my life, because literally the second I'm glad you're laughing about this. The second
okay, my bad. You're just so funny. I anticipated a funny story.
This is Angelo, he's going to try to hide it now, but he knows what happened, and apparently he thinks it's funny. But
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You literally do, but, backtrack now. I was sitting there, the Charles fight literally just started. I looked at my phone, getting a phone call from the people that board my dog.
Oh.
And,
Well, Why? How? Okay,
And
sorry.
And literally, like, I mean, there's only one reason that they're gonna call you when they have your dog. Something fucking happened, and I was sitting in the apex like I did not want to. I knew I had to answer it, but I did not want to fucking answer that. And my dog had a fucking seizure. She's fine now, but literally, I'm sitting there as my boarder's telling. The first thing he said, I'm like, "Hello." He's like, has Indy ever had a seizure before? And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So,
She has though, right?
just once before, like 6 months ago or something. She's getting older now, but yeah, that's how the Apex trip started. Literally the second the fight started, that, and I was like, oh my God, like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
But she's fine now. She seems to be all right. So.
Well, good. And she's a very young
yo, Zizo, you said no one cares. You're hidden from the channel.
Oh, 100%. Toss him. I'm like literally toss him. You don't care about somebody's dog? What do we have, guys? We have our family and our dogs. And dogs are nicer than half my dude. My youngest is so mean. That dog's not mean. Joey loves us all. Anyway, come Saturday. It's going to be old school easy. Me, you, Bo, Casey. Old school. Nice and easy. Wait, before we break down this fight, we do have a super chat. We have $20 from Aman. Love y'all with the jiu-jitsu. New bottle on the way for you, Ange.
That's shaka, bro.
Shaka, bro. New bottle on the way for you, Ange. And Jacob, I got you on a box of honey. I appreciate you. I don't know a bottle of what, but I appreciate you.
Are you going to tell people about your weekend?
What was my weekend? We had soccer. Friday we had volleyball. Saturday we had soccer. What am I missing?
Saturday night after the fights, what you told me about?
What?
Your first trip to the Turkish bath downtown?
Shut the fuck up. I was out eating Mexican food, getting nice and loose, came back to film the recap video. I abandoned my friends and family, abandoned them all, filmed the recap video here, and then went back out. That's it. There was no Turkish. There was no Turkish.
There's no. Okay, let's see Angelo's reaction when I say this name. Manuel.
I thought, was he a waiter at Salsa's?
Yeah, okay. All right. Angelo doesn't want to talk about Manuel at the Turkish bath, but, he was pretty giddy to tell me about it.
Manuel's not even a Turkish name.
It's not full of Turkish people. It's just a Turkish bath.
I thought these were, what are they? Aren't they like private clubs?
Yeah, what are they?
I don't even know.
Hi.
I
Anyway.
don't even know what dick tastes like. What does it even taste like? I don't even know. I imagine that it would be like a little salty. But...
Don't let him. Here's the problem. You could just say anything, and then you're in an impossible situation where if you deny it, it looks horrible. And if you don't deny it, it's like, whoa, we didn't deny it. It's literally impossible.
Yeah, I just completely made up a fucking,
Yeah, you've never done that before. Never made up anything before. Anyway, Marty says... before this was, I want some old school banter between the boys. Then the next comment was, it's one of the main reasons I watch, so keep doing it. Came for the bets, stayed for the bets, got a distance to the characters and the entertainment. Well, we're here for you, Marty. Let's go ahead and break down this card. Anybody bitching that this video's too long? Use the chapters and just have some fun.
There's going to be a lot of new people this week that are going to be like,
get to the point.
I just want to hear you talking about the grappling of Josh Van.
That is how most of them sound. Opening up the UFC 313 fight card, we have a brand new addition. This fight was added yesterday. We have Chris Gutierrez taking on John Castaneda. Both of these gentlemen were booked somewhat recently. Chris Gutierrez was on this card. He was supposed to fight Jean Matsumoto. They moved Jean. They moved him back to 2 weeks ago. I assume they told him, don't worry, Chris, we'll find someone for you. And that's all we can do is assume that he was prepared and ready, and it is what it is. Yeah. Then John Castaneda was supposed to fight last weekend. He cut the weight, he did all the things, and then his 40-year-old opponent was waved off by the referee, or the athletic commission. Is the doctor that says this guy cannot fight. He's not cleared. We're not clearing him. He can't fight. So John Castaneda went through a full camp, cut the weight, didn't get to fight. They just said, stay in Vegas. We'll figure you out. And now here he is.
I'm about to bantamweight, but damn, man, that's a mistake.
What is it at?
I believe it's a 140 catch weight.
Oh, all right. Maybe it's a catch weight. It said bantamweight on Tapology, so maybe they adjusted after the fact.
Mama says stupid is, stupid does.
If there's a catch weight, I'm even more confident in my pick. And if it's at 145, I'm even more confident in my pick, and I'll tell you why. But let's go ahead and break down this card.
145, I think, is people were saying now. It does say
Even
135 on...
Yeah, it says 135 on Typology, so that's what I went with. So
why does... Yeah, I mean, why... Yeah, I mean, why... the graphic says fucking Fight Night.
Yeah, that's a mistake on me.
Yeah, biggest card of the year.
Fight night. Not the Apex.
It is a fight night.
It's a fight. It's a fun fight night.
Yeah, let's go fight night. Anyway.
Oh. You want to stick
We
your
don't-
thumb in my ass, Manny?
We got Chris Gutierrez, 21-5 in his career. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses, taking on John Castaneda, 21-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off the one-sided loss to Daniel Marcos, and then obviously the canceled fight last week. Chris Gutierrez, very good striker. He's got phenomenal low kicks, good cage control, good volume. He's landing at more than 5 significant strikes per minute. He likes to come forward. He likes to chop up those legs. He also will hang out and just chop up those legs. He's not typically a super high volume guy, and he does sort of rely on you to push the pace to get the activity going. Good takedown defense at 69% on paper, but we did just see some of the wrestling lacking in his last fight against Quang Lee, but the striking was absolutely on point in that fight. He's taking on John Sexy Mexi Castaneda. We just did the full breakdown last week, but we're going to do it again. Former Division II college wrestler, but he doesn't always use that wrestling. He comes forward, busy hands, lots of shots, busy hands, lots of shots. He'll shoot a takedown, he'll come up, he'll get his hands going. He does not have a lot of power, but he'll make up for any lack of power with just forward pressure and activity. He was supposed to fight Douglas Silva de Andrade before the doctor called it.
Angelo, let's see those tits.
No. Best graphics in the game, though. Appreciate it. There's no DraftKings prices because this fight is brand new, you dingus. So they didn't assign DraftKings values yet. You clown shoe. Sorry about that. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and pick John Castaneda. The fact that this is actually at a higher weight even makes me more confident because my big concern here was the fact that he did a full camp, a full weight cut, and then has to do it again a week later. That is really tough on your body. The water loading, the getting rid of that, and then doing it all over again. So giving them the extra 10 pounds is wildly helpful. I just think that
What do you know about the difficulties of losing weight?
I've cut weight hundreds of times. You dick whistle. Anyway, I think the forward pressure of John Castaneda is going to be the difference here. He's going to come forward, stay in Chris Gutierrez's face, and if he is moving forward and he doesn't hang out on the outside, Chris probably can't get those leg kicks going. And if John wants to go all in on the wrestling, we just watched Quang Lee have some success there as well. I'm picking John Castaneda. I bet on him. I threw a half unit on him at -114. I'm even more confident in that now that I know there's a couple extra pounds on the board here. Jakey boy, what are your thoughts?
Here's what I'll say about this fight. I like Sexy Mexi, John Castaneda, former lock of the week. I did have him picked against Douglas De Silva, all those names, Andrade, whatever, Denata. But I was a little bit worried in that one because Sexy Mexi, I feel like, in my opinion, doesn't really know who he wants to be as a fighter. He has all the tools, good striking, tough guy, has wrestling, whatever. But it feels like there's no like actual game plans going into a fight. And sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad. But if you don't really have a game plan versus Chris Gutierrez, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. This is going to come down to who owns the middle of the octagon. Because if John Sexy Mexi comes in and is pressuring Chris Gutierrez, you see him have issues sometimes letting his hands go. Obviously, if you get him against the fence, you can get some takedowns on him. And if he's not really letting his hands go and you're crowding those kicks, he really doesn't have much to offer. But if Chris Gutierrez is owning the middle of the octagon, which I think he's going to, and is trying to force that wrestling out of John Castaneda off that back foot, Chris Gutierrez is going to be ready for that wrestling. You saw him make improvements in the last fight. I know that he got taken down. I think that second round was controlled for a lot of the round. Was trying to play that guard game and stuff like that, and that is concerning. You don't want to give Sexy Mexi a free round. You need to scramble back to his feet. But you saw improvements later on as the fight went on. with the takedown defense. I know he's been working. I know the camp, Factory X, Cody. I talked to him. How's everything going? Cody said that he's had a great camp. I know that he's been working with Isaac Dolgarian. Isaac Dolgarian is one of the most nastiest wrestlers at 145 in the UFC. So he's getting those reps for the takedown defense. And if this stays on the feet, as long as Chris can be a little bit more active with his hands, which I think he's going to be able to, because Sexy Mexi isn't like the most dangerous guy with his hands. I think he gets the kicks going as well and just kind of out-volumes Sexy Mexi to probably a decision win. But, I think whoever's moving forward is going to win. I think it's going to be Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, the leg kicks are the one and only thing that worry me. Outside of that, I think John's going to be the one who moves forward. So we are split here. I'm on the Castaneda side. He's on the Gutierrez side. We do not have DraftKings fantasy pricing just yet because this fight was just slapped together. We do have the odds, and they'd moved very quickly. John Castaneda opened at more than a 2-1 favorite. It's not quite even. He is still the favorite, but it has moved quite a bit. I'm curious to see if there's any more activity down that pipe. But if you do want to unlock all the picks, all the bets, all the tools, everything that we offer, if you like to do your own research, we have a full tape index ready for you to go. If you like to just find some prop bets, we have a tool called the Prop Hunter, which is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. Everything you could ever want or need, ready to go for you in one single package, $10 for an entire month. Check it out now at WeWantPicks.com. Couple of super chats, $4.99 random, but I was watching this movie Clerks 2. I don't know if y'all seen it. At least watch the trailer. Y'all remind me of the main characters. Is he talking about freaking Jay and Silent Bob?
I guess I'm the funny Jay, and you're the fat loser that doesn't say anything, but you're the one that's always fucking yapping and
First of all, that fat loser's the one, he's the brains behind the operation. Okay? Son of a bitch.
What's her name? It's Clerks 2 is when what is it's not
Clerks 2 was like 20 years later. Oh, Rosario Dawson.
Oh my God. Clerks 2.
Dude,
Rosario Dawson. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Her and Kids. Remember in Kids, that drug addict movie?
Because her and wasn't she fall in love with Silent Bob? It wasn't Jay, was it? Or no, it was the.
I don't remember. I just know Rosario.
It was like the regular. Was it the regular guy? I can't remember who it was. I think it was just the one regular guy, whatever. But yeah, she was fucking. It's a good movie. Those are good movies.
There we go. That's a whole movie universe, I forget the name of the universe. All those movies take place like in the same. There's like 6 movies in that universe. There you go. Humble Reaper, $5. Yuck. Hate these dudes. What the fuck? Yuck. Hate these dudes. Mostly Ange, but they crush pay-per-views and Premium has all the tools, so I'll listen to the lisp because they're making me rich. Dude, I don't know. I do not know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this.
And I did notice the list's a little bit heavier this week. I don't know if that was a little swelling of the tongue from the bath.
Well, the Saturday night video
usually
was
the salt
slurring.
water kind of like sucks everything up or whatever a little bit, but maybe they had a little bit too much chlorine in there because I know you were underwater.
That guy spent $5 to say he hates me, but also like, hey, Premium's great. I'm so torn. I don't know what to do with that.
He just hates you more, which I think everyone agrees with. I think if everyone that literally says that they hate both of us, like I hate We Want Picks. If you ask them, yeah, but who do you hate more? They'd be like, oh, fucking Angelo for sure.
Which is crazy because I'm like the
Except there were people attacking me out of nowhere on Twitter because they thought Montoya fucking yelled at me. Couldn't wait to fucking attack me.
That's why I literally said that.
What the fuck did I do?
I literally said that in my quick picks.
I can't believe Jacob just got yelled at by fucking Coach Montoya. It's like, what are you talking about?
Well, and the best part is, and you and I talked about this a little bit, your face is nowhere on there, which means these people heard the voice, knew the voice, and watch enough to recognize your voice at an instant. Interesting times. $1.99 from the next Lennon. There's a fucking theme here. The hate Ange. Oh, never mind. There's not a theme. Let's back it up. The hate Ange got was wild. Get Premium, and you'll know. I appreciate you, Next Lennon. Next Lennon is talking about the fact that Big Ange went out, had some drinks with the fam, enjoyed his time with his children, his friends, his family, some margarita flights. Came here, filmed the video, ran through it, didn't do a full detailed breakdown of everything. Talked about the fights. The fight recap video is a recap for the fights. What started to happen is, though, I was so good at betting And we're on that like 15-week stretch. I was like, I'm going to talk about these fucking bets right up front. And then people were like, I want a full. Appreciate you, Lennon. Appreciate you. Next up at UFC 313, we got Ozzy Diaz taking on Djorden Santos. Silent D, I don't even know why they put it there. Ozzy Diaz, 9-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that knockout loss in his UFC debut. He's taking on Djorden with a D, Santos. 10-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's making his UFC debut. Ozzy Diaz obviously had a very unfortunate UFC debut when he got smoked by Zhang Mingyan. That took me dude,
What
watch
a
that
great
show growing up. Yeah, that
what
show
a
was so
great
good.
show, man.
That really was a good show.
Sharon!
What was it called? What was it called? Something Life? Osborne Life? The Osborns? Was it just the Osborns?
Something clever. I think it was something clever.
Yeah. All right, anyway. We got Ozzy Diaz, former LFA champion of the world. He's a striker. He's pretty light in his feet. He likes to use the movement. He bounces around. He's got some grappling as well. By no means is he like a very good grappler, but he can grapple. He can find finishes in clinches or at distance. He's creative with the striking. He is pretty tough, but he is hit and he is a little chinny. He's tall at 6'4", not the thickest guy in the world. He spent a good chunk of his career right here at middleweight. That UFC debut knockout loss was at light heavyweight, so he should be down to where he belongs. Taking on Djorden Santos, well-rounded guy. And while he is just okay everywhere, he's not particularly dangerous. He's not great at any one specific thing, right? The striking is good. It's okay. The leg kicks are good. They're okay. The wrestling is good. It's okay. The takedown defense is better than the takedown offense. And ultimately, wherever the fight goes, he'll be prepared. But somebody who is wildly good at one thing, a very good wrestler, a very good striker, they can exploit just sort of the averageness on the other side. Ozzy Diaz is not like great, but he's not garbage either. Anybody who just watched his last fight, watched him get knocked out and just concluded this guy sucks, well, that wasn't his natural weight class. That was his UFC debut, and I promise you he's better than that performance. But he is a middle-of-the-road fighter, and he doesn't have the best chin. The grappling is okay. That is likely what Jordan's also looking to do. I do think these odds are kind of wild. 2-1 does not seem appropriate to me. Likely a slug fight here, which is a very controversial term for some freaking reason. Going to be sloppy. It's going to be back and forth. I think Djorden is going to win this fight. I may go ahead and slap $1 or $2 down on the plus 3.5. What do you think, Jacob?
I know you can't like them sloppy.
Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
You're scared of this lady? What's that from?
I don't know what yours is from, but Sloppy Joe is from the Adam Sandler CD.
Oh, boy. You don't know. I know you can't like them sloppy.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's a woman.
You're scaring this lady.
Oh, what is it? Oh, man. All right, just tell me.
Nope.
All right, we'll break down this fight.
Nah, we're going to sit here until you figure it out.
I won't Google it, I promise. Billy Madison.
Yeah, you looked at the fucking chat.
I did look at the chat, but I knew it was Adam Sandler. I would have gotten there.
Listen, I'm not sure Ozzy Diaz is a UFC caliber guy per se. I think he's probably one of those fringe guys, which doesn't mean that he can't get a win or two in the UFC, right? He's a tough guy. He's a well-rounded guy. He's got a decent amount of experience, and it's yet to be seen probably if Santos is a UFC guy as well. So if Diaz were to win this fight, I wouldn't be crazy surprised. But what I do love about Santos in that Contender Series fight was, I mean, he came in plus 350, plus 400, something dog to this pretty boy striker that can also grapple, and he's got all these kicks and stuff, and everyone was against Santos because he's fought nobody. Yeah, he's got this or whatever. He's 10-1, but he's fought terrible. He's just beating up on bums, and he doesn't have the skills, and he came in and just fucking dogged that shit out. He got that kid's face, was throwing volume, showed decent speed with his hands, decent, as you said, the takedown defense, decent defensive striking. He actually looked like he could could be, a viable UFC fighter. And I think that's really all it's going to take in this fight, is he is just a little bit sharper everywhere. I don't like the hand speed of Ozzy Diaz, especially in the counter-striking aspect. And I think Santos just kind of gets in his face and just kind of outdogs this guy. I've seen the dog and Santos in that fight. I mean, he was a plus 350 and won that 30-27 decision against a really athletic kid. I don't think Diaz is going to have the speed. I think Santos just kind of gets in his face and wears him down and could find a finish. Because once Santos gets on you, he's one of those guys just kind of he's going to stay on you. So, second round finish.
I like that you pointed out the speed there. I do think that'll be a difference because you're right. I think for Ozzy to win, he's going to need to slow this down, like slow it down and make it kind of lumbering and labored. Because if it is just sort of fast athleticism, Santos should probably take over there. We're both on the Santos side here. Do you think these odds are a little wide or no? You think he should be a 2-1 favorite?
I bet him 2-1 favorite. I don't give a fuck.
There you go, Jacob. Jacob doesn't give a fuck. $8,700 in DraftKings Fantasy for Santos. And honestly, if you're on that side of the fence, then that may be worth it because Ozzy Diaz does not have the greatest chin, can be finished. Djorden Santos is going to go ahead and be the pick here. But if you do want to check out every single pick, bet, and tool, it's only $10 a month. $10 an entire month. That's going to get you UFC 313, UFC London, UFC Mexico, and I'm assuming Brandon Moreno's in UFC Mexico, right?
What kind of question is that?
Because I've been saying UFC Mexico because it's the Brandon Moreno card, but I could be dead fucking wrong. That might not be Mexico. But either way, the Brandon Moreno card. And then the Vettori Delides A2 card. Check it all out now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. $10 for an entire month. A whole month for $10. That's $2.50 a week. Couple of super Chatterooskies. $4.99 from TC. Ange thinks cutting weight is taking rates in between eating. Listen, I don't know what's happening
even know what
here.
that is.
I don't. I don't know like where the dynamic shifted and what's happening here and why all of a sudden I'm getting dogged, but I don't appreciate it. So stop. Thank you.
Angelo just cuts all his food in half and says it's half calories. I just half the calories, guys.
Is it really silent? It's like Djorden. No, it's legit Jordan. The D does not exist in this. I don't know why there's a D there. It's just Jordan. It is silent. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Donnie says slugfest. End of story. I've explained this multiple times. Slug fight and slugfest are two different words. I'm not replacing slug fight. I recognize slug fight. Or sorry, I'm not replacing slugfest. I recognize slugfest is a word. I'm adding slug fight to the equation. Slugfest is like boom, 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 boom. Slug fight is like that, but sloppy, sluggish, just a mess. There's the difference.
Slugs are very important to the ecosystem. So the way that you kind of talk about them.
And so are sloppy ass fights on UFC undercards. That's wildly important to the ecosystem. See what I did there? 40, whatever currency this is from Combat Bets. I have no idea. What is that symbol? I appreciate you, Combat Bets. Thank you so much. I don't see a comment here. If you have a comment, throw it up. We'll find it and we'll read it. FMDA $1.99. Angelo proving everything from Jersey is gross. I'm not from Jersey. I'm not from Jersey.
Yeah, okay. Let's just see those tattoos real quick. Then say it again.
I've been to the shore. Also, this window is rattling like crazy. If my power goes out, this is going to flicker. Just stick around, Jacob. I'll come back.
That's what you told Manuel as well.
Santiago Mendez, stream 1 of asking Jacob. All right.
I'm not sure what's
stream 1. Let's see how many times it takes.
I'm not sure what's can you just explain what's going on, Angelo?
He wants you to paint your face. Let's check it out for stream 2. Make sure you tune back in for UFC Vegas 104 to see what Jacob is wearing. Next up at UFC 313, we have Marion Santos taking on Francis Marshall. Marion Santos 14-1.
Mairon.
I know it's Mairon. It's Mairon. I got it right over here. Dude, I do fucking 2 graphics per fight, then the thumbnail. That's 3 graphics per fight. How many data points are on every single graphic? 1, 2, Probably
all you
75
do is
days.
just complain and talk about yourself.
You complained. I was defending myself.
I do this. I do this. Oh, I do this. And then this.
Mairon Santos is 14-1 in his career. He is coming off a successful UFC debut, taking on Francis Marshall, only 8-2 in his MMA career. He is 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that bounce back win over Dennis Bazooka. Mairon Santos, big, powerful striker, solid takedown defense, plenty of patience. He's not a low-volume guy, but he definitely plots forward, waits for his openings, and then gets it going. He's got power in both his hands and his feet. He does a great job defending takedowns with an incredible wide base. If he does not find a stoppage, he'll just keep his composure and continue with the game plan. He's not just headhunt or bust. And I mentioned he's coming off that UFC debut, and it was over Con Offley, where we saw the power, we saw the accuracy. He's taking on grappler Francis Marshall. He's a grappler, but he does have some heavy hands. He'll come forward. He's got power. He's got speed. He'll set up those traditional, good old-fashioned, actual American wrestling takedowns and jiu-jitsu with the hands. He is comfortable striking, sometimes almost too comfortable. Hands are a little low. He'll throw out long jabs. He'll throw out some hooks. When he shoots, though, they are well-timed, full of energy. He's young in his career. He is hit more than he should be at this point in his career, but he does a nice job baiting you into a striking match, shooting blast doubles. He's coming off that win over Dennis Bazooka, where the hands look better than usual, and the wrestling always looks pretty good. This has a really good potential to steal the card. Like, this could be fight of the night. Francis looked very good in that last fight. He seems to be evolving, and that's what you would expect from a young guy early in his career. Mairon is relatively unproven, right? He's got a better record, but not a lot of high-quality opponents in there. But he also looked incredible in his last fight. I am surprised at 4-1 odds or 3-1 odds here. Francis can get wrestling going, and then he'll look phenomenal. I don't think he will, though. I think the takedown defense from Mairon's looks pretty good. The striking looks really good. I'm gonna trust Mairon here as the sort of more well-rounded, more dangerous guy. But if Francis is just balls in on the wrestling, there could be some upset potential here. But I am going to be on the Mairon side. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Francis the Fire Marshall, former anti-lock of the week. Can you believe that Isaac Dolgarian was the underdog to this gentleman, and people thought I was a fucking idiot too for picking Isaac Dolgarian. That's my fucking dog. The Fire Marshal. Oh, that reminds me of. You want to tell your going out for the fire department story and why you were kind of turned away?
I grew up in a firehouse and never had any aspirations to be a fireman, so I don't know what story you've got going on.
Yeah, you have fire department relations, and Angelo don't want to tell the story, but he actually, surprisingly enough, he actually made it through all the physicality stuff. He actually made it to be a fireman, and this is and people are gonna think I'm making this up, and here we go again. But he literally, that's straight from Angelo, right? He passed everything, so I'm not saying like, oh, he couldn't pass the way, he couldn't go up the ladder. He did everything, but he was turned away. Because the fire department, so what happened was, Angelo, please. Usually they have one oxygen tank on the back, right? Well, Angelo, he requires 2. And the fire department, the fire department did not want to pay for Angelo to have 2 oxygen tanks the entire time that he's going to fires around the whatever. So literally, he became a fireman, and they were like, it was just a cost. It became a cost issue at that point. There was too many oxygen tanks.
1 oxygen tank and 1 CPAP machine for during the day.
So that was Angelo's story. He literally cost.
The best part about that story was I was watching the full 40 seconds of you trying to figure out where the hell you were going, but then you got there. So congratulations.
I knew it was a setup.
Who do you think wins
the best part about that setup is that people think like, oh, Angelo was too fat, but no, you weren't. You just you have an extra lung, I guess. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. You should hear this guy, the breath he takes. Jesus Christ. Listen, I like Mairon Santos a whole lot in this fight. I will say Francis did. I mean, I think he was surprised everyone the way he came out against Dennis Bazookian. He basically knocked him out, right? I mean, Dennis was like fucking down and out. I don't know how he came back from the shot he was landing. So if Francis comes in and gets in Santos's face early, because Santos can be a little low volume early on, right? Because he's just making those reads. He keeps his hand. I mean, he's very technical. He keeps the hand nice and tight. He's right here with it. He's making reads. And once he makes those reads, those counters come very nice. I mean, step off. He's like Sean O'Malley with those fucking step offs, even like the check little lefts he throws. A lot of power in those hands. And the way to beat him previously was to take him down. Now you can see the takedown offenses there. He might get scooped up once, by Francis. And Francis, he's a capable guy. He's a strong guy. But he's going to get back to his feet, on the feet. And Francis, yeah, he's got power on his hands. But his aggression that he brought in against Dennis, if he tries that same, like, just kind of running across style, it's not going to be good. So he's got to be a lot more measured here, definitely get this fight to the ground. And even if he does early, I think Santos is able to get those defenses, as the fight goes on, and then and probably find a shot on Francis. But Francis is a tough kid, maybe he's able to get to a decision, but I'm definitely all over Santos in this one.
Yeah, listen, we're both on the Santos side. I see some arguments going on in the live chat here where people saying Dan Argueta almost smoked Mairon Santos. Francis Marshall's also a wrestler. He's also tough. And while there is some credence to that, to Jacob's point, Marion's evolving. Mairon is evolving. The takedown defense is there. And Dan Argueta is very good. I feel bad for the guy. He just keeps getting some bad beats here. But Dan Argueta is a very good wrestler. He's strong as shit.
Yeah, he's just kind of a funny-looking guy. Because he was in...
he's got a Jay Leno head.
He was in Danny Silva's corner. It was him and Cub and... I can't remember who else, whatever. So I was like literally right next to him, and he's a short guy with just a big old head, man.
The head's huge. The head's huge, but he's very good. Like I would argue, Dan Argueta is a better wrestler than Francis is.
He was smoking John Matsumoto,
and he did smoke Johnny Lawrence, right? Not Johnny Lawrence,
Ronnie Lawrence.
Johnny Lawrence is the Lawrence brothers from that back in the '90s. Remember them?
The porn movie.
No, they're like super Christian.
Who was your favorite porn star back in the day?
I didn't have one. This is dude, my youth of checking out photographs you shouldn't be watching as a child was in AOL chat rooms being like, pics. Do you guys want to trade pics? And it'd be like, no, I was a kid talking to adults. I was getting grouped, and you would get they would take the head of the mom from Home Improvement and put it on some Playboy body. But you didn't know you didn't know Photoshop was a thing yet. And the pictures would load. Remember when dude, I sound so fucking old right now. Remember when the pictures would load like this?
It'd go much slower than that.
Well, but you get what I'm saying. It would load from the top this. So you would get oh God, we're at the nipples.
You're like, oh my God, it's Topanga.
Yeah, yes.
It's Topanga. Oh my God. Yeah, literally,
dude.
It was ASL, age, sex, location. And I'd be in my parents' basement on the fucking computer, 13 years old. Every time I would say, I'm 17, male, live in Florida. I'd be sitting in a basement in Indiana, 17, male, Florida, trying to pick up those high school girls when I was 13 years old.
Yeah, so... anyway, back to whatever the hell we were talking about. Now I get why people get pretty fucking annoyed. I don't know what we're talking about anymore, but we are on the Santos side. This should be a very exciting fight. Clash of styles. I'm looking forward to it. $9,200 in DraftKings Fantasy, $7,000 in DraftKings Fantasy. While I do think Mairon wins this fight, I'm not going to spend the $9,200 because Francis, I do think, is tough. Yes, we watched him get mauled by, what the hell's his name?
Oh, the Midwest Chopper.
By the Midwest Chopper, Isaac Dolgarian. We watched him get mauled. But that's because Francis is a grappler, and he was just getting way out-grappled and just got pounded on top. Fine. That won't be what this is. This will be he's just eating big shots on his way in, a little sloppy.
Oh, you probably were. I bet you were one of those guys that was much more suave on the keyboard. What the fuck?
Tiffany brought me a water. I was like, can you bring me... Oh, she didn't close the door. Ooh. I was like,
wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second here. Do you have on one sock?
No. Two socks.
I didn't see shit. I didn't see shit. Hold on.
All right, we're done.
Do one more. Just do one more. I didn't see shit. Hold on, just back up.
Anyway, I texted Tiffany asking for a water. She's like, I don't have a bra on. I just got out of the shower. I was like, I need to just somehow get me a water. So I guess she just opened it and threw it in like a grenade. So I got my water. Anyway, I'm not going to.
You ever throw in a grenade into a room and kill civilians? Were you in the military?
No, I was a fireman.
Ask me if I was in the military.
Were you in the military?
I pretended to be Iraqi for American soldiers, so I think I would consider myself.
Oh, that's right. Jacob's not even joking. He was at an army base and pretended to be an Iraqi.
I wouldn't call myself a hero, but I bet all those soldiers probably would. The way I fucking pretended to be an Iraqi soldier in the middle of a forest in Indiana while the convoys came through, right? I literally got our troops ready for battle.
He's not even being sarcastic. He literally worked at an army base for like $10 an hour pretending to be an Iraqi during drills.
In Edinburgh, Indiana, one of the biggest National Guard bases, maybe the biggest in the country. You got on a bus, drove 20 minutes to these fucking plywood little buildings, and you just walked around and pretended to be Iraqi when the convoys came through. They took that shit serious, too.
I bet.
Get away from the tank! Get away from... I was like, holy shit! And they'd like do random searches and stuff. Some people had just random bombs planted because they had to like randomly search people and stuff like that. It was fucking intense, man.
Dude,
I'm a fucking American hero.
People in the chat are saying, thank you for your service, dude.
You're welcome.
It'll honestly bother me if that goes. So I would prefer the Angelo has AIDS thing catches legs.
You're welcome.
Before people thanking you.
I literally am. I don't know what's more important. I don't know what's more important, me or the drill sergeants and lieutenants, right? Because they can say what they're supposed to do, right? But that doesn't really prepare them for what's going to happen. I'm in the trenches. I'm the one that's got a gun pointed at me. Whoa, whoa. Like I'm getting them fucking prepared for this shit. So yeah, I consider I don't know why I don't even have a Purple Heart or a something.
I don't either. I'm not even going to do the promo plug. We do have a couple of super chats, though. Spotted Salamander with the 99 cents and then a $4.99 right behind it. Pereira gets his first sub this weekend. That's a question. And Cody Brunich is a dog. Sam Patterson title run. Question.
By the way, Sam Patterson's friends were not fans of me either. I got some glaring looks.
Which is
after
wild
that fight.
Because the physical similarities. Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Spotted.
Thank you for that. Yeah, because Danny Barlow, I was rooting for Danny Barlow in that fight, and I kept one of the things I was saying was, which is kind of funny, and because everyone can hear what you're saying, right? I mean, everyone can fucking hear, so you got to be kind of funny with it, right? So I was like, I was just trying to tell Danny, like, hey, straight shots, straight. You don't need to throw it big. Don't throw it big. Straight shots. His chin's going back, and I kept saying, throw a straight shot. He'll know what to do when it lands. He's been there before. Literally, I said that like 3 or 4 times, and then he gets the knockout or whatever. And I literally, because his friends and family are like literally looking down. Or I'm looking right at him, and his friend, Jesus Christ, his friend looks up to me.
What is that noise?
It's my text. I had to turn
my dude, I legit was like, that's why I was looking around in a panic. Like, what is going on?
But his friends are sitting this, and I'm like right here. His friend looks at me like this and just staring at me, and I see him looking. I just went like this. I just went like this, and he just gave me a little nod, like, okay. I was like, that good one. That was pretty good, But the worst haircut I've ever fucking seen on Sam. What the fuck was that? Did you notice how bad his fucking haircut was?
No, I was too busy shocked that that went that direction.
Oh,
it is what it is.
Let me get this out. I'm gonna pull it out.
Okay, Jesus Christ, dude. We're 58 minutes into this.
I didn't say stop and wait for me.
Okay. Next up at UFC 313, we have Alex the White Morono taking on Carlos Leal. Alex Morono, 24-11 in his career. He's called the
Great White, not the White.
I know. We joke. You and I joke.
No, I say the Great White. I don't just call him the White. Like, what the fuck? Are you sure you want to leave that in? Is this live?
The Great White. He's 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back losses, though. He's taking on Carlos Leal, 21-6 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. coming off what seemed like a robbery in his UFC debut. We know Alex Morono by now, and I'm going to sit here and be 100% honest when I tell you that Alex Morono is a very good fighter. Alex Morono has all the skills to be successful in MMA.
What's with the bangs?
He's in a good. That is like a straight across.
Yeah, it's like just so aggressive. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah, that should be Caesared, not combed straight down like that. Anyway, Alex Morono genuinely is a good fighter and has all the tools to do well. He has phenomenal jiu-jitsu, like underrated, incredible jiu-jitsu. He's got okay striking. He has a willingness to bang it out, and he's pretty tough. The problem with Alex Morono is sometimes he'll just hang out and not use any of the skills, do nothing that he trained in camp, and he'll just be there going nuts. Throwing like crazy, engaging in a fight he shouldn't be engaging in, when he almost always is the much better grappler. He is coming off of that close loss to Daniel Rodriguez where his counter-striking looked really good early. The problem was Daniel Rodriguez made the reads, figured out the timing, and Alex didn't adjust after that. He's taking on Carlos Leal. Carlos Leal is only one fight into his UFC career, but you can see by his record he's a veteran of this sport, fought all over the world. His style is dangerous Muay Thai striker. He's not afraid to engage. He's got forward pressure. He's got a big open stance. That does leave him open for leg kicks, but he's durable enough to hang out. He's got good grappling as well, but it's definitely a backup plan. We did see the takedown defense in his last fight. It was the robbery with Renat.
He got chicken pox.
He's got chicken roids, where he defended 17 takedowns. And listen, I had Renat in the safety parlay that week, and the safety parlay hit because of this robbery. So I'm not mad at it. Thank you for your service, Carlos Leal. I know that we're all high on Leal right now. I get it. We saw him get robbed in his last fight. He definitely won that fight. Like, I'm not clueless. Like, I made money off it and I'm fine. He definitely won that fight. But I will say, this is not the first time we've seen a UFC debut get robbed, and then the hype train was a little over-exaggerated. The example I'm going to use is Basel Hafez. He came in, had a really good fight against JDM on short notice. A really good fight. Was ragdolling him, took a round. He looked good on short notice. Then everybody was like, oh, Basel Hafez is good. Basel Hafez is good. He came out, fought to the edge of death with Mickey Gall, and then got knocked out by Oban Elliott. So the reality is, I do think Carlos Leal wins this fight, but not because he's some beast killer. Look what he did against Renat. Renat is a chinny, one-dimensional wrestler. This is more about Alex will probably just stand there and swing it out like crazy with a guy that hits real hard. Carlos is going to be the pick, but minus 775 is getting outrageous.
Just so you guys know, Angelo is the only person I've ever met that had adult chickenpox. And it was it was bad, it was ugly, and we were all praying for him, but it was...
Adult chickenpox is called shingles, because you don't get chickenpox anymore. And I haven't had shingles.
Yeah, that's two different things, fucking idiot.
You get
shingles because the chickenpox virus is already inside. You can get adult chickenpox, literally.
Chickenpox has been eradicated. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's been gone for 30 years.
You've been an adult for 40 years, dumb shit.
Yeah, I bet. Who do you think wins this fight?
Change the subject, hurry. Oh, hurry, change the subject, my feelings. Oh, my feelings are getting hurt. Change the subject.
Listen, excuse me. I'm trying to do a fucking breakdown. Interruptions. Listen, Carlos Leal, if Renat doesn't have that wrestling that Angelo mentioned in that fight, he's going to get fucking knocked out and finished in that fight. Thank God when he was getting clipped and landing those shots, he was able to grab Leal and hug him in certain situations. Alex Morono is not going to do that. He is a guy that is a fucking 95th degree black belt, very high level black belt, but he doesn't give a fuck. He just wants to go in there, like he said, I just want to stand and bang like the good Lord intended. And I love Alex Morono for that aspect. He's a guy that could make it boring, and he doesn't want to make it boring. He could be a jiu-jitsu nerd and do this and try to do whatever. And if it happens to go to the ground, you've seen in certain instances he can be live, great guillotine, can throw up the triangle, armbar very fast, so he's very high level down there. Doesn't want to make it boring. He likes to stand and bang against Leal. probably not a good idea, right? Because if he does get hurt, whatever, he's not going to go to the wrestling. He's going to try to bite down to get that shot. And I think Leal kind of moves forward. Both these guys kind of do the same thing. Drop their hands a little bit, big hooks. I think Leal's got the power advantage, and eventually he's going to find Morono. So I like Leal here. If Morono's able to do, what I always say about Alex Morono, the second he starts spinning, it's not going well. And I guarantee that he throws a spinning back fist within those first 2 minutes from the pressure of Leal. And after that, it is going to be downhill. So I'm Leal here. But I like Morono. He's a fun dude. He is one. I mean, he literally could be one of the biggest and have crazy success with the high-level jiu-jitsu he has. Just doesn't do it because he thinks it's boring. It's boring to watch. So you got to respect him for that.
100. You need people like him on the roster. It's just tough when you're betting and going that route because of the fact that he doesn't use his skill sets. We do have a premium member. I don't think it's him. We do have a premium member whose name is Alex Morono, spelled the same way and everything.
The great white.
We'll
be having white cake in the parlor.
$6,600 in DraftKings Fantasy to $9,600. Here's the reality. I understand Carlos Leal could finish Alex Morono. He's been finished on his feet before. It's not like it's never happened. Ponzinibbio did it. But we have a guy who is winless in the UFC, coming off a UFC debut where he couldn't knock out a dude who's been chinned, not fully knocked out, but been dropped a couple of times, as an 8-1 favorite over an established UFC veteran with wild DraftKings fantasy pricing. I get it. If you do think Leal wins by finish, then yeah, spend the $9,600. I actually think this is going to go a little longer. I don't think Leal's going to look as good here as he did against Renat, and that's because Renat is so one-dimensional. So Carlos could just let his hands go like crazy. I don't think that's what we're going to get here. Alex can also strike, and he's unorthodox, which is going to throw you off. I think we end up with a fight that goes a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. We have multiple prop bets. We have multiple prop bets on the board for this fight for premium members. There are 3 people giving you bets on premium membership, and I think 2 out of the 3, or actually all freaking 3, have prop bets on this fight. Check them out now.
Are you scared to say the F word?
What?
Just a simple question.
Which F word?
The one you just didn't say.
What was the context?
Freaking. Oh, you're freaking. Oh, yeah, freaking. You're freaking.
WeWantPicks.com. Just click become a member. You'll unlock every freaking bet that we have on the board, as well as the tools, the picks, the artificial intelligence, and everything else.
I want to hear you say that, but hit the F word hard and see how it changes the tone of it. And I bet somebody signs up just because they just feel there's more passion.
You want to see it?
Hit it hard.
Go watch the vlog from UFC 310 or 11 when I was sitting in the car watching that French nerd Kevin Gisette do nothing. That is the hardest punched F word I have ever said, and it is documented in that video.
I'm glad it was on camera.
It was pure anger.
And mine was right to somebody's face. He was a lot bigger than me, and I didn't give a fuck. Fuck you.
And I wasn't even there, which means that you were ready to go. It's not like you had your big friend.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're ready to go. It's
literally the best thing that could have ever happened to my life is if I literally would have gotten a little tussle there and thrown out of the Apex. It would have been incredible. Cody had just won. It wouldn't have really mattered. It would have been, who gives a fuck? Kind of
you've been like 6. I was gonna say you've been like 6 times. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the Kevin Gisette rant was legendary. That's raw. That's what it's like when I watch. I mean, yeah, everybody watch that. Go watch it. I mean, the vlogs you can go binge watch. Yeah, as soon as this camera's off, you fucking.
Every time Lock of the Week loses, it's like fucking.
There we go. We do have this from Superman Brand going nuts. I want to see the wife. Oh, let me see the wife. Go watch a vlog. She's in vlogs. Don't be fucking weird. Next up, at UFC 313, we have Brunno Ferreira, and he is taking on Armen Petrosyan. Brunno Ferreira, 12-2 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off that submission loss to Abus Magomedov. He is taking on Armen Petrosyan. Armen Petrosyan, 8-4 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5.
Hold on. Close your mouth. Turn your face a little bit to your left. A little bit less. Right there. Now look
Hey,
at
he's
the
a good
camera.
looking dude. I'll fucking take this all day. He's a great looking dude.
No, I think it's who you think you look like. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna say Armen Petrosyan?
No, I think Brunno is like
100%.
That's who
That's a
you
young
think you-
Angelo. Yeah. That's young Angelo. That's what I look like. That's Jersey Shore Ranch. We go there every weekend.
So you are from New Jersey.
I'm not from there. You go there. That's how vacations
Do
work.
a little fist pump. Do a little cabs here.
What's funny is at the daddy-daughter dance last year, went with a couple of guys, and I was dancing my ass off with the kids.
Whoa. Let's back
my
up.
friends
Hold
all
on.
have daughters, so we all went
the
with our daughters.
daddy-daughter dance last year. I went with a couple of guys. We danced
And our daughters. No, I danced, and I did. The feet were going crazy. I danced my dick off, and people were like, "You got moves for a big."
Now
dude."
you
It's
have
like,
your
yeah,
dick
of course
off at a daddy-daughter dance.
with a daughter keyword. Dick's gone. Anyway, Bruno Ferreira. While he's an Angelo doppelganger, he's not quite as tall as I am, but he is a little thicker, and he uses that short stockiness to close the distance. He's got some powerful striking. He is light on the feet. He's constantly mixing up his attacks. He's going to bounce on those toes, and he leaps in, leaps back out. And even though he is fast and he's powerful, and even though he has a ton of finishes, he's not reckless. He can actually be low volume and wait for the openings before he finds his spot. He can grapple as well. He's got powerful takedowns. He's got slick BJJ. He is definitely a striker. He doesn't usually go to the grappling as plan A, but all you got to do is dig into some of his historical fights and you will see those takedowns.
Chin check MMA. They're just thanking me for my service. You're welcome.
I hate that so much, honestly. He's coming off that submission loss to Abus Magomedov at UFC 308.
Anything for this country.
Also at UFC 308 was Armen Petrosyan. Armen Petrosyan's a fun striker, professional kickboxing background. He's also a failed lock of the week. He can be a bit of a brawler. At times, he does rely on his chin and just banging out. He lands at an impressive almost 6 significant strikes per minute. He is hit with around 3, so the striking differential is great. The technique is actually there as well. He does not have the best takedown defense, but he does have good scramble and get-up skills. He's coming off the wrong side of the insane double back fist KO highlight. This should be another really fun fight. His fight doesn't matter, right? It does nothing for the rankings. Neither one of these guys can get a title fight. But it's fun. It's for the fans. It's for the boys. And I'm looking forward to it because I think we have 2 guys who can and will strike. And then one of those guys can go to a backup plan if they need to. And that is Brunno. I'm picking Brunno here as a dog. I think he'll come in. If he lands big early, he'll find the knockout. He's durable enough on the feet to not really get knocked out that quickly. Obviously, we've seen it before, but Nursultan is a giant human being. I think Brunno comes in, has a few exchanges. He either has success with the power early or he gets touched up a little bit because Armen's a high-level striker, and then he immediately goes to the wrestling where he should have a huge advantage. Bruno's going to be the pick. There are some bets on premium regarding him. Jakey boy, what do you think?
Yeah, Louis Bond said they need to do a documentary on Jacob, the things he went through. And honestly, I haven't thought about that, in a while, the things I did for this country. And, it's probably going to be tough to sleep tonight. It's probably going to be a little bit tough to sleep tonight thinking about those long, that long day. I only did it one day, but that was a long, day, so I don't know if you know that.
I thought it was more than one day. That actually takes a lot of wind out of this.
It was,
I thought it was like a whole summer.
No, it was, we got there, we got there before the sun came up and we're there. And then I decided, no mas for me. That was enough for me, But I did my time. I just, I felt like I was almost too good at it. I was,
You felt like a traitor to your country, and you just couldn't sleep at night, pretending to be.
I'm trying to break down this fight, Angelo.
Oh,
Listen, Armen Petrosyan is a former lock of the week, and a lot of times I do stick with those people because I see something in them, and he's going to be the more technical fighter. He's going to be the more technical fighter in most of his matchups. Unfortunately, he has lost 4 of them. And you're looking at a guy, Brunno, who almost has that, I want to say that Nicholas Mata power for the division. Nicholas Mata is a 155 or 170. But he has the power of a fucking middleweight. He touches people and he fucking hurts people. Even if he doesn't finish them, he fucking hurts people. And Bruno Ferreira is the exact same way. Even that fight against Abus was fucking thinking he was going to be that German kickboxer again, right? And in the first round, he was doing it, and Brunno was, making the reads, defensively sound or whatever. Brunno stepped on that gas in the second round and turned Abus into a Russian again very, very quickly. And it took all of the wrestling and grappling Abus had in that fight to fucking survive the striking of Brunno Ferreira. Armen Petrosyan, there's no fucking backup plan, all right? He's going to fucking strike, and if the striking doesn't go well, he's going to get fucking put out. And Brunno, as Angelo mentioned, really is a judoka practitioner. I think like a double black belt, like a very high-level
judo practitioner. Or he is a judoka. And I think he might go back to that wrestling. And if you look at the fights that he's had, he's never really had a chance to use the grappling. Gregory Rodriguez, right? Gregory Rodriguez is like a world-renowned grappler. You're not going to fucking try to wrestle him. Nurselton, all those finishes on the ground. You're not going to really try to wrestle him. Phil Hall's a wrestler, and he fucking just kind of knocked him out. Dustin Stolzer is a very good grappler. You're not going to out-grapple him. And then Abus is the same way. So this is the first fight where he can enter this fight and have a major advantage in the wrestling, in the grappling, should he choose. And you look at the gram, it looks like he's been doing some judo stuff, doing some grappling stuff. He might just charge through this guy with his power, grab him, throw him to the ground, because that's usually how he's been winning a lot of fights, especially on the regional scene. So we might get a throwback fight from Brunno, but even if we don't, in the striking, it probably is going to be one of those situations where Armen's going to be looking good. He's probably going to back up Brunno. He's going to be landing, and it's going to be what I said against Trevin Giles and Carlos Prates. I said Trevin is going to have so much success that he's almost going to get drunk with the success, right? He's going to be like, oh, I'm feeling good. Oh, I can touch this guy. Oh, look, I'm lighting this guy up. I'm touching him. And then, boom, the big shot's going to come. It's probably going to be the same thing happen here. Armen's going to be backing him up. Ooh, look how, let me try to, I'm going to overextend. Brunno's going to make that read. He's a very good striker, has the power advantage. I got to go with the Hulk to beat Superman in this one. Yeah, we're on the same side here. Obviously, he was a bit of a favorite there, then flipped to a dog. And the odds are about, like they're yo-yoing a little bit. I saw him all the way up to plus 140. He comes back down. So I don't think people quite know
minus
what to do here.
Minus 150 makes sense to me for a guy like Brunno. I just feel like he has more ways to win. I know he got knocked out by Nurselton, but that was kind of a weird. And Nurselton's like at that point,
beast.
Yeah, he was fucking 6'9" or whatever it was. 69, nice. And just kind of caught him a little bit, but
The ADD that was in that, you said it to yourself, you reacted to the thing that you said to yourself, and then moved on. The ADD in that.
It's not called ADD, it's called just having enough wherewithal to understand your thought process and keep things going multiple times in different layers.
And saying it out loud.
You're very
and
just
saying it out loud and reacting
you're very just like,
he is a wrestler, and he also can do punching. And then the other guy, he also does some of the punching too. And if you do the wrestling to him, is it not good for him?
You sound like a Japanese store owner. It's not good to him. Anyway, I don't do that. And I don't have Tapology in the background. You just did a whole Tapology guy thing. Okay? We got $7,600 on Brunno Ferreira. He will be in my DraftKings fantasy lineup. The upside is there, even a decision. He's so low priced, he could score really well, especially with a couple of takedowns in the mix because he do the wrestling. And if the wrestling do to him, he'll be fine. You can unlock all the picks, the bets, the tools, and everything else that we do for $10 an entire month. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. Every single pick bet tool, the artificial intelligence. $10, sorry, go ahead.
Would you say that Japanese is your least favorite Asian?
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was trying to act dumb, and you were like, "Oh, you sound Japanese." I just wanted
because the way you switched the words around, it wasn't sounding dumb.
Hate.
It sounded
I'm
like
very on board. Stop Asian hate.
You were it towards the end of it. It went from like duh, and then it turned into just like English isn't your first language. And from a household where English was not the first language, I can spot that from a mile away.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, your fucking fake Italian parents.
Go ask my mom. Okay, you fucking asshole.
What is it?
Yeah.
Can I say, I did have, speaking of, okay. Go ahead, Angelo. It's your show.
This guy super chatted and I didn't answer his question. That's all I was going to do. He said, are we going to see Alex Pereira's first submission win? I hope so. That would make me the happiest boy in the world. All right, now that's done. Go ahead.
You say weird stuff. I was at Zuma in Las Vegas eating some. You think that I'm a picky eater, Angelo, but I'll tell you this: I did eat some. I don't know what that is, but I did eat that, and it tasted like it looks, which wasn't great. But I do want to talk about this.
You get
First of all,
diarrhea?
I had the 8-ounce rib eye or whatever that was medium rare, right? Angela, I know you're a well done guy, but this was medium rare, right? No ketchup for Angelo, so I know he wouldn't like that fucking place. But this is what I want to talk about, and this is worth the tangent. If you guys have ever been to Zuma at the Cosmo, and I'm not really a fried guy, like if I get fish, I just like fish. I don't like fried fish, but they have fried calamari. That was the best seasoned calamari I had. Oh my God. The seasoning and batter on that was fucking to die for. And it had the little kick to it that it's not a tongue spice. It's like just kind of like Angela, you would enjoy it. The back of the throat little tickle, right? It just kind of a little peppery in the back of the throat. And there was, if anybody's been there, was it Zuma in the Cosmo? Oh my God. The fried calamari is fucking unreal. So
I'm a big, obviously I like fried calamari, but Rhode Island style, where it's like tossed with banana peppers and some sauce and stuff. Rhode Island style is the way to go.
And what is that? Who can guess what that is?
Is that a lemon? Is that an old fashioned? What is that on top? Is that an old fashioned? What is it?
It's not an old fashioned.
I can't tell. It looked like an old fashioned with a lemon peel on top.
Somebody almost got it.
Sex on the beach? What the fuck? Okay. Next up, at UFC 313, we have Rei Tsuruya.
Uh-oh. Speaking of the Japanese, Angelo.
Taking on
Joshua. Can't wait to hear this unbiased take.
Can't
wait. I wonder who Angelo's going to be picking in this one.
They're both Asian. So
well, you made it very clear who your least favorite Asian is. So.
No, that okay. Rei Tsuruya taking on Joshua Van. Joshua Van, 12-2 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that battering win over failed lock of the week Cody Djorden. He's taking on Rei Tsuruya. Rei Tsuruya, undefeated, 10-0 in his career, coming off that win in his UFC debut. Rei's a nasty grappler. Solid hands, good aggression. His takedowns are slick. Some of them can be big, where he will take your back scrambling. He can pick you up. He can slam you to the ground, instantly transitioning from the takedown to ground and pound, and then trying to find a finish. Plenty of cardio, plenty of composure. He's a guy that can really do something if he stays on this trajectory and continues to improve. He's coming off that UFC 303 win over Carlos Hernandez, where he went 3 for 8 in takedown attempts. Taking on Josh Van, solid striker, good aggression, bit of power mixed in there as well. His takedown and his scramble skills are decent. He is very young also at 23 years old. Everything's improving from fight to fight. And he's this new generation of fighter where even though he is primarily a striker, he's good everywhere. He can grapple offensively. He can grapple defensively. He does a really good job finding things in scrambles, making people work. And he's coming off the one-sided beating of Cody Djorden, where he did give up a few takedowns early. And it looked like, oh boy, here's your path. Josh is going to lose here. And then he just started to land. Cody Durden's gas was gone, and things went south very quickly. That small window in the beginning of the fight shows Rei there's a path here. Shoot the takedowns over and over and over. And if you don't slow down like Cody did, and if you don't use your head like a punching bag like Cody did, you can have success here. The problem is I don't know how well it's going to go because Joshua Van showed us in the Zalgas fight on insanely short notice in his UFC debut. And then...
That's a tough one for you, isn't it? The Zalgas fight?
Zalgas? No, I had a bad mess up before. I had a bad mess up before, and some dude typed it out the way I said it. It was like... Anyway, we've seen Joshua Van fight really good wrestlers. We've seen him defend the takedown, stay composed, stay busy. He doesn't panic. He gets taken down. He's totally fine with it. Vegas hates wrestlers, hates them with a passion. For that reason, I got to go Josh Van here. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I am a Josh Van hater, probably. I'm going to pick him in this fight, which means he's probably going to lose. It just seems like it's headed down that path. If he's able to defend the takedowns, he wins. If not, he might get submitted. I think Ray's going to definitely get him down the first round, and we're going to see how good Joshua Van's submission defense is, because this guy Ray does some fucking wild shit. And not only does he do some wild shit in the submission department, but this guy isn't a push you against the fence and then get on your hip and then kind of ride a single and try to run the pipe and then maybe switch to a double methodically and then kind of maybe grab your ankle and all the normal shit that people know how to defend, right? The Cody Djorden is a good wrestler, right? And if he gets on a single, you saw he can take Joshua Van down, all that stuff. But Joshua Van knows eventually how to defend that stuff. When it's not like crazy explosive and people just out-muscling you, he takes his time, he splits the leg, he digs the underhook, right? He stuffs the head in situations. He knows how to defend the regular against-the-fence takedowns. This guy, Ray, does some wild fucking shit. I mean, he will do some wild trips, some drag you backwards, just suplex you over his head. I mean, he is a very high-level, actual fucking wrestler at a very high level. So, while I know Joshua Van has shown good takedown defense, Ray might bring some different stuff he's never seen, get him to the ground. And if he gets him to the ground, he's going to be in fucking trouble. So I'm going Joshua Van here because I do think he's athletic enough. And if he's able to defend the takedowns, he's obviously going to win this fight. I don't think Ray's going to have anything for him on the feet. Joshua Van is good with the volume, good with the boxing, stuff like that. So this is one of those fights that could turn like the Cody Djorden fight did. Honestly, I mean, Cody had 3 or 4 minutes of control in that first round, and then it was just like, was actually landing some decent strikes as well. And then all of a sudden it was like, believe me, I know more than anybody. It was like, like, oh no, like, well, you know, could turn like that. I expect that's probably what's going to happen. Survive early, then take over. I'm going Joshua Van, but, you know, I might play a little, you know, look out for that. I'm winking right now, but look out for that prop video later this week because we might have something for Ray early on.
Yeah, it's interesting because we've all seen that clip, right, of Henry Cejudo and Khabib talking about wrestling in the Olympics, and Khabib is like, oh, it's always been America and Russia, and then he goes, Japan. Well, he says it like an old sensei, but he's not wrong. Like, Japan had a phenomenal showing at this last Olympics. Like, Japanese wrestling is going
talked about that,
insanely well.
Too, during the Ray fight. He was like, listen, the bigger guys, the bigger Japanese guys, he was like, when I saw them, it was this DC talk. He's like, it was basically a buy. Like, I knew I was gonna fucking smoke. He's like, but those little Japanese dudes are fucking high level. It is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's they've had quite the rise these last few years, and obviously Rinya Nakamura let an entire world down when he didn't use his wrestling. But
and a lot of people give Ray shit too because he slowed down and just kind of surviving against Carlos
UFC
or whatever.
debut.
But I mean, that the scrambles early on the first fucking 10 minutes, the scrambles were fucking insane of that car that we're going through. And I don't know if Joshua has those type of scrambling. We're gonna find out if he can scramble.
It was a UFC debut, which can be exhausting, especially mentally. It was on a giant pay-per-view where Alex Bejeda headlined, and it was against Carlos Hernandez, who doesn't stop. So, like, yeah, he slowed down a little bit. This is an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to this fight as well. This is a sneaky good card, and this is just one of many where you will see some action. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. We have tons of picks, bets, tools, and artificial intelligence. A simulator that simulates fights 100,000 times, gives you the outputs. Everything we do is...
Oh, my God. Does power go out? Oh, my God. Am I still live right now? Am I live by myself? Did his power go out? Did it cut it off, or am I still live? I think I'm live by myself, guys. I can't even... Guys, the issue with this right now... Oh, my God. I think his power went out. I can't switch the slides or anything. Yo, what if that was what if it was a lightning strike? What if God was like, fucking... What if God is Japanese and fucking was like, yeah, you won't talk about the fucking Japanese, buddy? With the fucking lightning strike, dog. Holy shit. Make sure you go to WeWantPicks.com. Only $10 a month. Sign up today because there's only one of us now and all that money goes to me now, baby. Woo! I don't know if you guys want to just move on to the next fight. I can't switch the sides, and I don't know what the next fight... Oh, he just switched the slides for me. Next up, we've got Curtis Razor Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. This one should be a barn burner, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis Blaydes, I don't have Angelo's notes in front of me, but I bet it says something about him being a high-level wrestler who's really kind of gotten away from the wrestling lately, really kind of letting those hands go, and he's kind of paid for the striking in a couple of fights there, especially that last fight versus Tom Aspinall, where he actually had a little bit of success early, but then ultimately got caught with that left hand from Tom Aspinall, which really dropped him to the ground. I don't know the other guy's Kizriev, what the fuck, you deleted the slide, so I can't remember his name, but coming off the Contender Series win where not a lot happened in the fight, but he was ultimately able to walk forward and get that TKO victory. Curtis Blaydes, he's been there, done that, fought top competition against a UFC debutant. I have to imagine that Curtis Blaydes, even if he doesn't need to go to the wrestling against the Dagestani, he probably should be able to get those takedowns, but it's going to be the hand speed, the power of Curtis Blaydes versus the Kuniev striking Dagestani. Now, we have to remember he has been chin, he has been hurt, so trusting a guy like Curtis Blaydes at the minus 350 price point, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but as we say, picks and bets are completely separate, so while I'm picking Curtis Blaydes, not probably going to bet him, not probably going to play him in DraftKings, but could be an interesting fight, couple of heavyweights. We don't get heavyweight fights often. What do you think?
All right. Well, sorry about that. Full lightning strike kicked out the power for a second. I do need a UPC backup here, or UPS backup, so that doesn't happen. But either way, Jacob's breakdown was in character. I don't know why, but this is an interesting matchup because we have a couple of heavyweights to round out. What are we laughing at?
Well, it's funny when I do like your fake over the top script to make
and then
fun
I
of you,
just do the exact same thing. Yeah.
Literally, here we go. Listen, tell me it's not exactly what I said. Go ahead.
We got Curtis Blaydes, 18-5 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that interim title loss to Tom Aspinall, taking on Rizvan Kuniev, 13-2 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5, with one no contest being a steroid overturning. Jacob said it. Curtis Blaydes is known for his wrestling. I used to break him down years ago. And I would say he was a heavyweight who wrestled like a welterweight. Those were the exact words in my notes because he would lower his level, shoot a double, run right through you. He is no longer doing that. Now he's a guy that wants to stand there, bomb away, try to find some power. Problem is his chin doesn't always allow him to find the power. Was knocked out by Aspinall. He was knocked out by Pavlovic. And he hasn't shot a single takedown in, Jacob, take a guess how long it's been since he shot a takedown.
I don't give a fuck because I got a text from you that just says, I'm coming.
I sent that, first of all, it's C-O-M-I-N-G. Okay? Spelling matters. And I sent it while...
Yeah, you literally just randomly leave the screen, the stream, and you send me a text that says, I'm coming. Okay. I think that's TOS or something.
TOS. Anyway... Point being, Curtis Blaydes hasn't shot a single takedown in 3 years, and this is a weird fight where he may not need to, but he may want to, because he's taking on Rizvan Kuniev, former steroid user. That's confirmed. Failed the test. That's not subjective. That's, I see, C-O-M-I-N-G. And this former steroid user was building a nice little career for himself. He was in PFL, or had a win over PFL champion Renan Ferreira. Seemingly pretty clean now. You can see it in the love handles. Juice or no juice, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to come forward, throw wild, close that distance, try to get you against the cage, and grapple you. He's got decent leg kicks, but he likes winging punches from the hip. When he closes the distance, he's going to look to grind you to the cage, work you to the ground. On top, he's got good control. He is coming off that Contender Series win with a nice little punch there. I was hoping coming into this fight that I could full-flame Curtis Blaydes. Like, ooh, he's fighting a big Russian. This is going to be great. We watched him get taken down 100 times in 5 minutes by Jalin Almeida. But that's not the Russian we got. He wants to strike. And if Kuniev does wrestle, it's just push you against the cage and try to drag you down. Curtis should win this fight. And the only reason he's not a minus 800 favorite is because of the questionable chin. Because in 2025, all we have seen are pretty good favorites balloon up to massive favorites. Carlos Leal is minus 800. Last week, we had 4 different fighters that were minus 600. And that's all we're seeing this year. And Curtis Blaydes, number 5 in the world, taking on a UFC debut A guy who just fought for the title, Curtis Blaydes, is only basically a 3-1 favorite. That's because people don't trust his chin, and I totally get it. Curtis Blaydes is going to be the pick, but I don't think I trust his chin enough to do anything with that information. I know you did your breakdown, but are you worried about his chin? Like, are you going to bet on him? You trust him enough?
Well, Angelo, like
No.
I say, pick the bet.
Angelo hella zesty. I agree.
Who the fuck said that? What the fuck, dude? Oh, this guy's a fucking dweeb that's been railroading all night. Anyway, $9,100 in DraftKings Fantasy for Curtis Blaydes. I'm not going to do it. Because, yes, he's got good striking. He's got good wrestling. We haven't seen the wrestling in 3 years. I don't know
Angelo
why.
is the Elton John of sports bets.
An all-time great? Okay.
I think they
Where's
mean
the insult in that?
a
What do you think he
homosexual.
means?
I think he means you're a homosexual.
An icon of the community. A guy, a legend.
Elton
He has
John
sold
was-
out. He sold out Madison Square Garden more than anybody, or unless I'm confusing him with Billy Joel.
That's Billy
Pretty
Joel. Come on.
God damn it. Anyway, Elton John's a legend.
Elton John was the whole reason everyone knew, left or right ear with the, it's like, oh, you look at
Oh,
a picture
so
of
he-
Elton. Yeah, you fucking got to go left ear. I mean,
And then his
might-
other example was Freddie Mercury, another legend with hits.
Listen, hey, we're not going to disparage Freddie, okay? We can talk about Elton. We're not going to be fucking talking about Freddie. Freddie's the greatest singer of all time. I fucking love Freddie Mercury.
Well, there we go. Great movie, too. I actually didn't see the movie. Anyway, Curtis Blaydes.
I mean, you just lie. What are you about to do a breakdown? You already did the breakdown 3 times.
Oh, let me finish. Let's say Curtis Blaydes is our pick. And if you want to check out any picks, bets, tools, or everything else that we have to offer, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Maybe with the premium money, I'll buy a UPS battery backup to make sure this power shit doesn't happen
That we could lose
again.
this crowd, baby. It's better this way.
Could it fit into the beat?
The things you say.
Okay. We want pick.
Be so good together. We're gonna be so
WeWantPicks.com/bets. If you use any of the affiliate links on that webpage and you sign up for a sportsbook
Tonight
partner,
the music sings so loud. I wish that we could lose this crowd.
we'll send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. You use the link, they'll pay me. We'll pay you. Here's the new content. Just a reminder, if you fast forwarded through the beginning, you weasel clown shoe. We got 3 new shows for you. Jacob does a prop hunter on Fridays. He gave you a plus 650 prop bet for free last Friday. The week before that, he gave you 2 plus 900 prop bets. And the week before that, he gave you a plus 600 prop bet. This will be the 4th time this video was ever made.
Micker Man says Jacob's annoying. I bet.
Michael gets it.
No, I bet he gets a little pissed because his fucking couch is ruined from the side of the couch that his fucking girlfriend sits on. Just waterlogged 24/7.
They have to buy leather.
Jesus Christ, man. She's all
Jacob-
fucking slip and slide. That leather fucking seat. She can't sit on that goddamn thing. She's slipping off. Pussy's so wet.
Another new addition is more of an adjustment. Jacob, instead of the long form full card breakdown, he does a lightning fast full card breakdown where he gives you the keys to victory for each fight, gets through the whole thing in about 15 minutes. And then I have a new show with Josh Thompson right here on We Want Picks where him and I just talk about topics.
Wacky Josh.
Talk about topics in MMA. Whole bunch, there's like 6 or 7 of those videos out. The latest is how to solve the eye poke problem. We sort of dig into the point deduction situation, the glove situation, all those things. Check out those videos. I can't trust the algorithm to push any of this to you. Jacob's prop bet video is crushing it every single week. Insane value in a free video. And it does like a third of the views that this video does. Don't trust the algorithm. Click the subscribe button, click the bell, and look out for these videos specifically. I also moved some content off this channel onto our other channel. We have a second channel called Picks Nation. That's where we do the individual fight breakdowns. I took Prize Picks and Underdog and put them there because those videos are wildly specific and they're for like a very targeted audience. So those are there. I popped the tire, Jacob. I texted saying my battery. What?
You fat fuck.
I said I popped the tire.
My car couldn't fucking handle it. It
This
said,
is
I'm
what
done,
happened.
dude. Yeah, this is what happened. Yeah,
I'll tell you what happened.
The car just fucking gave up on your dumb ass. Fucking, I've had enough. I'm out of here. Ended its own life because it couldn't fucking carry you around any longer.
Anyway, the battery in my Yukon died. The car wasn't starting. So I got one of those little battery things at Costco months ago. It jumps the car, whatever. So I jumped it. I drive there's a mechanic shop at the top of the street. So I called them. I said, can you replace the battery? He said, no problem. So I'm driving up. As I'm driving up, I'm looking at my phone. There's no wife, no kids in the car. I'm being very irresponsible. I'm looking at the phone. And somebody commented on the DraftKings fantasy video. It's still there. And he said, yo, where's the Prize Picks video? So as I'm replying to say we moved it, I'm trying to find the link. I fucking slammed into the curb. Slammed into the tire, went poof immediately.
Jesus, take the wheel. Take it from my hands.
Okay. So that went from like $200 battery replacement to an $800 very annoying situation. The guy behind me went
fucking
like
tires. You $800 for a tire. You getting taken advantage of like that? I thought the fucking New York
I don't know what
Angie thought he would fucking stick $800 for a fucking tire. What are we doing here, sweetheart?
I mean,
holy
maybe,
fucking shit! $800 should get you fucking 2 sets of tires at some point. Oh my
maybe
god!
Maybe I did get
Yo, a tire is fucking $200-$300 tops. What are we doing? A rim is a couple $100. It should be $500 at the most. You add labor. I'm talking $650. You're talking $800.
The $800
$800
was total for the battery and the tire and everything. Taxes, all of it, total.
Thanks for the tariffs, Trump.
Subscribe to the second channel. Don't ask me where these videos are. I might.
What's he
slam
saying?
into
Somebody give me an update. Is he up there? Is he letting them
saw somebody
know?
say he kicked somebody off the stage before. Anyway, this is a funny comment. I got tires for sale. Download our app. It is in the App Store. Just search We Want Picks. You'll get push notifications to your phone. Become a premium member. You'll unlock every single pick, bet, and tool that we offer. One of the tools is the Fight Simulator. It simulates fights 100,000 times, and you can use those outputs to build DraftKings fantasy lineups, place bets, or do whatever you want. Here's a look at that safety parlay. 81% accuracy on the safety parlay. The odds are going to be different.
Why didn't you just change? You went to the dealer to change a battery.
You know how to change a car battery?
And
I do
look
not.
Fucking retarded?
Yes. Like you have sunglasses on inside. You're wearing a dumbass hat with somebody else's picture ironed onto it. In front of a bent board that you had a tism attack on. Yes, you do. I don't know how to change a battery. I know how to jump a car. I've jumped a car. That's a big-ass truck. I don't even know what battery I would buy. What battery could I use for this giant Yukon? I don't know. The fuck do I know? No, fuck that, dude. That's not a flex. Fuck that. I don't know. No, fuck that shit, dude. Fuck you. No. Didn't you try to hang a TV with like duct tape and a push pin?
I got a TV hanging right here. It's been up there 3-4 years. Hadn't budged.
Yeah. The amount of holes behind that TV that's just being covered. Look at the safety parlay. Here's the 4 events you're going to get if you go to WeWantPicks.com and click Become a Member. First of all, people saying Google it. I didn't just have a spare battery. I had to get a battery. Yeah, where would I get...
In the manual, it says you're like a woman right now. How would I even know what battery? You just fucking open the manual and tell you, or just fucking Google or do whatever.
How would I even know how to get a battery?
There's a mechanic shop at the top of the street. Hey, I got this truck. Can you need a battery? Yes, we can.
Know?
Done. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, you're not gonna fucking. Nah, you guys aren't gonna. Nah, you're not gonna do that fucking shit. Nah, nice try. Nice try. Now, fuck you. That's
Why
not
didn't
some.
you need a battery
This isn't
anyway?
changing a tire.
You go out
This isn't
there and
changing
leave
a
the
tire.
car running without it. You just auxiliary so you can listen to the porn through the Bluetooth while you go in the garage and jerk off away from your family. And you left it running one night. Why is the battery dead?
I asked
the car is
guy.
brand new.
It's not brand new. It's a 2023. So
Whoa, not brand new. It's a 2023.
It's
people.
important. That's important to note because I said to him, listen, it's a 2023. Like it's a 3-year-old.
I'm thinking about getting rid of it, but maybe I'll just replace the battery. You know, we've had some good times.
I said it's a 3-year-old truck. Like, there's no way the battery should die, right? And he goes, no, it's in Texas.
2023. Hold on a second. Let me do that.
They
math.
make it a year early. You buy the 23 and 22. You fucking idiot.
Oh, you bought it new. Excuse me.
We didn't. Okay. Anyway, and it was Tiffany's. I had a pickup truck.
Doesn't know how to change a battery, but knows how to clear a plate.
He knows how to change his insulin pump. Anyway, fuck you. We're moving on. It's $10 a fucking month, dude. Jesus Christ. If you want to send something, don't send me how to change a battery manuals. Don't do that. But if you want to send something else, like Thomas Rinker sends nice letters.
If you guys have anything, if and this is serious too, if maybe your grandparent, an uncle, something, great grandparent, if any of them served in the military and they have extra medals, and you think maybe I deserve one of those medals for my service, acting like an Iraqi for one afternoon for our soldiers, for getting our soldiers prepared for a very intense war, that we should have probably won, and then somebody got us out of the war, and then a fucking situation there. But, if there was medals laying around that, maybe they're dead and they don't need them anymore, and you want to send me some war medals.
Well, here's the address if you want to send Jacob a Purple Heart or something your grandparents may or may not be using. It is We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. We'll open everything up on the vlog. Why is this camera following me around? Stop following me. Hold on. Stop.
Yo, camera, who's the retard?
Stop. It's not stopping. What a mess. Oh, I found it. Okay, stopped. Okay. Are we ready to move on? I'm ready. I think the viewers are ready. Opening up the UFC 313 main card, we have King Green, formerly Bobby Green, and he is taking on Mauricio Ruffy. King Green, 32-16 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that TKO submission loss to Paddy Pimblett. It's a TKO submission loss because he didn't tap. He was unconscious and his arm was about to snap in half, so the ref stopped it. He's taking on Mauricio Ruffy, 11-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off the decision win over James Yantop. Bobby Green, busy striker. He's got that showboat Roy Jones Jr. style that we've talked about many, many times before. Good volume, good defense, slick wrestling as a backup plan. He doesn't always use it. It did just get him into some trouble in that last fight, though. He's got 11 knockouts in his career. A couple of them are raw one-punch knockout power, but for the most part, it's just volume and good timing. He is coming off, as I mentioned, that bad submission loss to Paddy Pimblett where he shot a takedown, and that's ultimately what started the exchange where he ended up choked and armbarred. He's taking on Mauricio Ruffy from the Fighting Nerds. Nasty striker, big fight-ending power. He's got 11 wins with 10 stoppages. He's going to throw heavy 1-2s. He's going to look for power. He's not just a boxer, though. He'll launch kicks right up the middle. He'll defend takedowns pretty well. He had that scissor kick in his UFC debut against Jakey Boy. And we've seen him carry power late into fights. And that's good to see. We saw him in a decision in his last fight because, he's just not going to full-blown death gas. He's going to look amazing? No. But he's not just going to full-blown be first round or nothing. He's coming off that sort of lackluster, hype, dwindling win over human punching bag James Yantop. And I am glad to see that the odds are coming down here because when I broke this down 2 days ago, Ruffy was minus 600. And now he's minus 460. And now it's starting to feel like it makes a little more sense because, minus 600. He's fighting a 38-year-old man in Bobby Green, but Bobby's still there. Bobby can still make some stuff happen. And we just watched Ruffy throw everything he had at James Yantop and it sort of went nowhere. So I do think Mauricio Ruffy's going to win this fight. He's going to be younger. He's going to be slicker. I think he's just going to be a little faster, beat Bobby to the punch, and just overall be the better striker. But Bobby's a gamer. He's going to move forward. He's going to come forward. I thought 6-1 seemed a bit wide. 4-1 makes a little bit more sense here. Mauricio is going to be the pick. I know everybody's just in love with the Fighting Nerds, and they're just blindly betting these guys and picking them. The reality is, if you have to pick a weakest link, it might actually be Mauricio Ruffy. What do you think, Jakey Boy?
I think you're stupid. I I like this might be honestly the first time I'm picking against King Green. I'm trying to remember through the fights or whatever because I don't look at stuff. I don't have notes or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I'm a big King Green guy. I picked pretty sure I picked King Green versus Islam. I was like, listen, guys, like, he fucking's got wrestling too, and he's going to be the better striker. Like, so I'm a big fan of King Green and who he is as a person and stuff because he's just fucking. Everyone's like,
great.
Oh,
he's great.
Everyone's like, oh, CTE King Green. And I was like, no, he's been that same dude for he is who he is to his core, and he doesn't change for anybody. And we need more people like that in this world. So I like King Green. Obviously, with that Philly shell style, he is a tough guy to hit. If you come in like a kind of an MMA boxer, right, where you just kind of got the ones and twos and the basic combinations, right, he's going to sit there and he's going to slip it, and he's a hard guy to hit. But when you come with explosion and you come with unique type of striking like a Mauricio, he's probably gonna fuck up King Green. And I tweeted it immediately after the Ruffy fight because I knew what was coming. Right, I knew that the hate was maybe he isn't maybe he isn't who we think he is, and maybe he's overrated and this and that. There is probably 5 people on Earth that survived that onslaught that Yantop survived, and it just happened to be Yantop is one of those 5 people that can survive all that shit because the strikes that Ruffy was landing was absolutely insane that guy was eating, and if he is landing those same shots or even half those same shots against King Green at this point in his career, I don't think he's going to be able to eat those shots. People try to, like, for whatever reason, say that was a bad performance by Ruffy. He was doing whatever the fuck he wanted, and it was just happened to be Yantop's one of the toughest sons of the bitches that there is in that fight. So I like Ruffy here. I think he gets it done and probably makes it look easy.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. And
Bobby's like, King is like a very, because I tweeted today like about like who's everyone like for a dog or whatever. He's like the fucking darling underdog. That people
really?
Think,
That's why the line moved, I guess.
People love King to come in. And he's a good enough striker that if they go tit for tat, he can slip shots and fire back or whatever. But let's do Ruffy a little diffy.
No, Ruffy's obviously very good. We saw but Bobby at his prime, which was like 3-4 years ago when he fought Fiziev, who's also on this card, obviously. He took a round from Fiziev. That's because Fiziev slowed down and Bobby Green doesn't slow down for shit. So he took the 3rd round. First 2 rounds, he got dotted up a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, Mauricio Ruffy should win, and I feel much better about it that he's minus 460 instead of minus 600 like he was the other day. It was actually interesting to see that this line collapsed on itself. Meanwhile, Carlos Leal, who is entirely unproven, that line took off. So it's like all the people that were betting here just decided to go bet there instead. But either way, this should be a fun fight. It does make sense for a main card opener, especially if the UFC is trying to build some talent here. We got $6,800 in DraftKings Fantasy for King Green. If you do think he wins, that is the only price point that would make sense for him because unless he's going to come out wrestling, which he did attempt to do in his last fight, it's just going to be volume striking and he's not going to score an insane amount of points. But obviously if he wins, and $6,800 is a very affordable price point. Mauricio Ruffy, if you're going to spend that money, then you definitely think he finishes Bobby. He could potentially. We've seen Bobby. Jalen Turner put Bobby's lights out. So it's possible. It could happen. We watched Mauricio Ruffy just put on an absolute show against, what the hell was his name? What was his name?
Yantop,
Jamie. No.
Yantop.
No, his UFC debut.
Oh, Malarkey.
Jamie Malarkey. He put an absolute.
Oh, that's a bunch of malarkey.
Absolute beating on Malarkey. If you think he finishes Bobby, then $9,400 is worth it. If you do want to check out, the scissor sweep was incredible. So Mauricio Ruffy's rise has been interesting because that was his UFC debut. A scissor sweep takedown. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten one in the UFC, and then Mauricio Ruffy did it.
I don't think he got the takedown.
He tripped him, but he didn't like fully execute on it. But it was like, what the hell is this? And then he smoked him on the feet and put him out. So then when he went into that James Yantop fight in his next fight, people were like, this is the
he
man.
hit a no-look uppercut on the fucking butt. Literally just whap on the fucking butt, and Yantop was just like, ooh, that kind of hurt. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, it is definitely, and I was, I literally said he couldn't finish human punching bag James Yantop. He's a human punching bag for a reason, because punching bags don't just break. They just take the beating, and that's what he had going on.
I know somebody that knocked a fucking heavy bag off its fucking chains.
Who?
And they're about to win a fucking belt.
Who?
Jack Della Maddalena.
Oh, fancy.
Win that strap.
Mauricio Ruffy is going to be the pick. Check out the picks, the bets, the tools, the artificial intelligence, and everything else that we do right now at WeWantPicks.com. Next up, at UFC 313, we have Amanda Lemos taking on Iasmin Lucindo. Amanda Lemos, 14-4 in her career. She's 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off the grappling loss to Virna Jandiroba. She's taking on Iasmin Lucindo, 17-5 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5, and she is riding a 4-fight win streak. Amanda Lemos, Muay Thai striker. She's got fast hands, ton of power. For the most part, she does a pretty good job keeping these fights at that Muay Thai range and avoiding takedowns. She got plenty of power, good BJJ. She can lose scrambles, and she can lose in some transitions. She's been at the top of this division for a very long time. She's had some all-time performances, and that is reflected in her slate of competition and on her record. She's coming off that submission loss to Virna Jandiroba, where she only landed 2 strikes. She's taking on a young up-and-comer Iasmin Lucindo. She's a grappler. She uses her speed, her power. She clinches you, drags you to the ground. On the ground, she's got solid top pressure. She uses strikes to loosen you up, and then she'll transition to a submission. The striking is just okay. She essentially is like waiting for you to throw, and then she'll either counter or drop and go. Game plan is always get the fight to the ground, work from there. She's coming off that very close decision over Marina Rodriguez, where she really just gritted it out with a handful of well-timed takedowns. This fight's going to look one of 2 directions. Either it's going to look like when Amanda Lemos fought Mackenzie Dern, where she was defending takedowns and just made her look absolutely stupid, or when Amanda Lemos just fought Virna Jandiroba, where she gets taken down and has nothing to offer on the ground. My brain and my gut are telling me 2 completely different things. My brain is like, Amanda is proven. She's a proven entity. She has been here for a while. She's fought the best in the world. She went to hell and back in the title fight. Like, she has to be the side. Is that ice cream?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Is that Andy's? You got a Dairy Queen delivered during this show? Sonic delivered. What a joke. I am going to lean Iasmin here. And before I do that, let me remind you that I picked Iasmin 5 days ago when she was a dog. And I actually don't like that she's now the favorite. It makes me just feel like she's the public dog that's going to sell, and now she's a favorite, and it's going to be like, of course, the 20-something-year-old, what is she, 23? Of course the 23-year-old lost to the old grizzled vet. Of course. I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to stay on that side. We just saw the grappling holes in Lemos. Iasmin is tough. She's got a chin on her. I don't see her getting finished. And if she can have some grappling success, she can win this fight. Plus, Amanda might be in a situation now where that fall off is steep. Had an all-time title fight. You could have argued she won that fight. And then it's just a steep fall off from there. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'm going. As we know, these are tough for me. Brazilian female versus Brazilian female. Both of these equally as attractive as the other. Obviously, we got Lucindo with those puffy ass lips. Those things are fucking beautiful. But I just think it's going to be a youth thing here. Amanda Lemos definitely has the power, and I've seen Lucindo kind of react negatively to power before. But when that does happen, she instinctively can go to the wrestling, to the grappling. The worst case scenario here for Lucindo bettors is going to be Lemos stings her a little bit with the big power that Lemos will sit on. Lucindo instinctively goes to the grappling, where she isn't really like a dominant wrestler, doesn't have great, like a blast double or whatever, but she kind of will grab onto you and look for trips and stuff, and she is effective in that. But if she's in a situation where she's getting stung, instinctively wrestling, Lemos is going to be live for those guillotines, right? She's got a very, very strong guillotine. She will jump on those front chokes, so I worry a little bit about that. But as a fight, I think Lucindo is probably going to have the activity, can go to the wrestling, the grappling, and if she gets on top in a half-guard position, I imagine Lemos probably isn't going to go anywhere. So Lucindo's just got that extra card, I would say, right? You don't have the cards, right? You have no cards, right? But with us, you could have the cards. I think Lucindo's got just that wrestling, just kind of that extra card that I don't think Lemos is going to have an answer for. So we'll see if she uses it, but she definitely is. Seems like she's improving.
Yeah, it should be a pretty fun fight, and I don't have a problem with it being on the main card. This does matter for the division. We're either going to build a young up-and-comer, or we're going to have a top 8 fighter in the world get another win under her belt, potentially work her way up to one last title fight. What? Okay.
This is I actually got this earlier, and I put it in the freezer, so it's a little bit frozen for a milkshake. But it is Oreo, and it is fucking good.
Okay. We actually went out to eat before we did the show, and Tiff is like, "Oh, should we get Andy's?" And I did.
I like how you said that. Like we should be surprised by like that. We actually ate before.
We don't go out to
like,
eat
yeah,
before.
okay.
No, we went out to eat. We don't go out to eat during the week.
Surprise.
We don't go out to eat during the week. But anyway, I did not. The surprise is we went to Andy's, which is a phenomenal ice cream spot here, and I didn't get anything. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, Angela always tries to pitch this. I don't really like sweet stuff.
No, I like sweets.
Yeah, I don't really like that type of stuff. I'm just kind of.
I didn't get it because I didn't want diarrhea.
I'm on the carnivore diet. Salami.
WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. We got $7,700. We got $8,500 in the DraftKings
Did you
Fantasy.
see that?
I did see.
I almost Kylie Jenner myself.
DraftKings Fantasy pricing. If you do want to use the DraftKings Fantasy tools, we have a full suite available for you right now, ready to go, and a whole bunch of other things. WeWantPicks.com. Click become. It's 10. It is literally the same amount of money as that stupid fucking milkshake he's drinking. And it's for an entire month's worth of access.
Like a $3-4 milkshake.
Great. So at $10 a month, that's $2.50.
Sonic is an American-based company. They ain't got to pay the tariffs because they
We
care
want
about
picks.
American workers.
.com. We do have a $2 super chat from Spotted Salamander. I assume this is meant to be funny, but I'm going to answer it honestly. He says, is this the first trans fight in the UFC? Not funny. Actually, especially these are attractive women. One of them. Fallon Fox.
I am
Here's a real fact.
Oh, I have a funny stat to it. Go ahead.
I have real facts for you. Fallon Fox actually was I'm saying was because she doesn't fight anymore, a trans fighter, a man who transitioned to a woman, fought women. And the first few fights of her career destroyed these women. Like, to the point Ronda Rousey was talking about, like, destroyed these women. Absolutely ruined them, breaking their eye sockets, their jaws. And then fought an actual skilled woman and got the shit kicked out of her. And that was the end of Fallon Fox. So, no, this is not the first trans fight. Jakey boy, what's your story?
I have some interesting news. It's going to be shocking to a lot of people. It's going to be heartbreaking to some. It's going to be there's going to be a lot of shock value here. And I just found this out recently. But I think legally, logistically, and for all intensive purposes, given to me by the U.S. government, I think I am recognized as a female.
Oh, that is yeah. That is true. Yeah, somebody said Ange is an ally. I am. Look at Jacob's license. Tell me I'm not an ally.
I, for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, especially my ladies out there, because I am apparently one of you now, for some reason, I just realized on my driver's license, and I sent a screenshot to Angelo and everyone so he can confirm this. I'm not making this up. My license says I'm female. Sex. F. Not like a blurry M that looks like an F. It is literally sex, female. For whatever reason, on my driver's license, I am recognized as a fucking female. And I don't know what to do about it. I don't know.
Maybe that's not the gender box. Maybe that's how good you are at it. And you got an F.
I don't know. It's very shocking to me, but I mean, I did what anybody would do. I got in the car, I drove to the mall, and I bought a few dresses. I got a nice little, I bought a nice little cocktail dress that I wore Saturday night after the fights, and we're gonna try it out. Maybe this is my calling. So I'm not. I always say listen to the universe. So we'll try it out and see. A couple times a week what's going on, and maybe we enjoy it.
This is like when Shannon Sharp interviewed Oscar De La Hoya. And Oscar's like, we've all tried on women's clothes. And Shannon's like, no, we haven't. Like Oscar thought for sure people were going to be like, yeah,
I am
ladyboy.
Right. I am ladyboy.
Next up at UFC 313, we got Jalin Turner taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. Jalin Turner 14-8 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off the insane, very frustrating loss at UFC 300, taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. 16-5 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back KO wins. Jalin Turner Good boxer. He's going to come forward. He's going to keep the fight at range at the exact same time. He's an incredible 6'3". He's one of the very few people that use that length and that range
How
really,
tall
really well.
Is who?
6'3" is Jalin Turner.
Okay.
And even though he is known as a striker, 3 of his last 5 wins are by submission. It shows you that he's well-rounded, and it shows you that he can snatch things up in scrambles. He's coming off that almost win over Renato Moicano at UFC 300, where he had Renato 99% knocked out, had that dude dead to rights. And then instead of just throwing a half of one punch, which is all he would have needed for the referee to stop it, he turned around, walked away, raised his hands. He thought he was going to have a highlight walk-off. He didn't get it, had a full adrenaline dump, only to come out in the next round with nothing left to give, and Renato took over. He's taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. All right, 6'3". He's a full foot taller than you, dude. That did not do what you thought that was going to do.
You know what's funny about this is look at my eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, it was, we were having fun that night. I think Jalin was having fun. He shaved his head, too. He's got a nice little fade now. But super nice guy. He was really nice, actually.
Yeah, I actually met him at UFC 290-something with Tiffany, and he was really cool there, too. Or 280,
super normal,
maybe?
for sure.
Yeah, he was super cool, dude. He's taking on Ignacio Bahamondes, also an insanely tall 6'3" at this weight class. He uses his size and his reach really well as well. He's a striker, incredible volume, okay power, good footwork, good head movement. He protects himself from power shots coming his way. His takedown defense is very good.
I'm having trouble trying to suck this.
At 85%. His takedown offense, however, is a horrendous 0%. And it's not 0 because he hasn't tried. He's tried 5 times. He cannot take people down. He's coming off that knockout win over Manuel Torres, where the length and the power were on full display. This is a good fight. It's the battle between the 2 longest guys in the division. And this could definitely, I didn't say thick, girthiest, just long.
Pause.
And this could definitely be sort of boring early and exciting later. There could be a lot of a feeling out process here because they're both used to being longer and taller. And when they have somebody standing in front of them who can reach them from farther out, they might do a little bit of a feel out here. This should be a fun fight. I am looking forward to it. I have fully forgiven Jalin Turner for what happened at UFC 300. I will say, to defend Jalin, because everybody seems to be jumping all over Ignacio here, the line full-blown flipped. Ignacio's a favorite now, even though he was a good-sized underdog for a little while. Jalin Turner, you're just going to look at him and be like, oh, he got smoked by Moicano. That's not what happened. He had Moicano done. He had him done. And when he just said, yes, turned around, raised his hand, that's a full adrenaline dump. Full adrenaline dump. So for Moicano to sort of ragdoll him in the second round, that's not because Moicano's just that much better than him. We saw what happened when they were both fresh. And Jalin smoked Moicano. That was a Jalin Turner with nothing left to give because it all left his body versus a very durable, very tough Renato Moicano. With all that being said, the only reason I'm going to pick Ignacio here is this might be the battle of the chins, and he's got the better chin. That's literally it. That's the reason. But Jalen's got some dog in him. We saw the dog in him against Dan Hooker. We saw the dog in him against Gamrot. Like, Jalen's not a bum, and I am surprised this line has moved as much as it has. What do you think, Jakey boy?
So here's a tweet from Minty. You can see it's up there, but she's basically talking about our height. She says, internet thinks I'm 5'2" when I'm really 5'6", even taller some days.
Okay.
$5'6", so I'm six. It's got to be 6'2", at the very least.
Sure, tall Jake. What do you think wins this
way
fight,
taller than
Jacob?
her.
Which one of your tall comrades here wins this fight?
Listen, I've been a big I like Jalin Turner. I'm a big Jalin Turner fan. I was very high on him, and I think as a lot of people were in that Moicano fight, and then it's like, what happened there, right? And we've seen him kind of dog out fights before. So it was a little bit of a weird situation because, once he got to the ground, he didn't have anything to offer, but you saw him in the Gamrot fight, constantly trying to work through. So I hope that Jalin gets back to who he was. Obviously, those losses aren't terrible losses. He's not just dropping losses like crazy or whatever, a few split decisions and then finished by Moicano, but it is what it is. And I was an Ignacio hater. Going into that Manuel Torres fight, I was like, I like Ignacio Bahama Mama, but he just gets hit a little bit too much. And Manuel Torres, when he hits people, he fucking hurts people. And he fucking hurt Ignacio. I mean, he landed a shot that had Ignacio fucking stumbling around, got a little bit too overzealous, and ended up getting finished in that fight because Ignacio is a tough son of a bitch. And while I was a hater before, he is tough. He is active. I think he's going to be the more active fighter moving forward. And in this fight, it's going to come down to who is moving forward, who is moving backwards, and who is kind of out-voluming the other person. And while Jalin Turner, I think, can be tough against the fence and fire back or whatever, I think optically in this fight, it's going to be Ignacio that's going to be moving forward. It's going to be Ignacio that's going to be a little bit more aggressive if for whatever reason the fight gets to the ground. And it's going to be Ignacio with the volume. So I'm going Bahama Mama here. Honestly, I was considering him for lock of the week, but since he is the favorite now, I'm not going to do it. But honestly,
really? I thought you were going to go with it.
I made the bet 2 weeks ago when I saw these odds and I saw he was a dog. I'm like, yeah, I want to lock him in so I could get him as a dog as maybe as a lock of the week. He's definitely considered, and I think he wins. And I bet him as a dog, but I won't do that to you guys. I know how it is.
There we go. This should be a really fun fight. It's also deserving of a main card slot. All 5 fights on this main card should be entertaining. This is a great pay-per-view, and if you want to unlock all the picks, the bets, and the tools for this pay-per-view and the next 3 cards, it's only $10 for that entire month. That $10 will get you everything. There's no packages. There's no add-ons. There's no upsells. It's $10 for everything. And it is by far the largest, the most robust, the greatest value in this space, period. End of story. We're going to buy some Patreon link from somebody, a dub club with 5 bets on it, or a full-blown website with everything you could ever need. Tools, artificial intelligence, 5 different cappers, one of them being a robot. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top.
That was me and David Onama. Great guy. Here's the nicest guy, former lock of the week, by the way, Evan Elder, the nicest guy I'd ever met. I talked to him. I told him he was my lock of the week. Obviously, I already bet him he was supposed to have a fight. What was it, next week or the week after that or whatever? But what's his name? Pulled out of it, so that was unfortunate. That's my guy. I fucking love Evan Elder, but he was a great guy. And there's me, Cody.
There you go. $1.99 from Get Out of Here, Zaddy Angelo. Speed it up, buddy. Listen, you can just wait till we're not live and then fast forward. Easy.
If people didn't.
Somebody
asked me earlier what I lost on Charles Johnson. I had 2,000 on Charles.
Oh, dude. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
There's the Brundage benefit focus.
Somebody accused me of being dishonest because your premium bet on Cody Brundage was 1 unit at plus 150. But you obviously tweeted a ticket where you bet $3,800 in real life. $3,800 in real life, you bet. And somebody was like, Angelo, you have it listed as 1 unit. It's 38. You're a liar. Like some shit like that. And it's like, dude, first of all, Jacob's personal bets that he's placing while at an event are not official premium bets. Second of all, if I wanted to be a liar weasel, that 38 unit bet would have made us look like geniuses, you fucking idiot. I would have used it to be like, we're up 29 units. Here we go. People don't get it, man. People don't get it. So thank you, that guy. I'm officially changing our stats. We're up 29 units from last week because of Jacob's $3,800 bet on Cody Brundage. You clown shit.
Watch this, too. Watch this. There's Cody. Here comes Yusuf. That's me about the dap. Watch Yusuf. Watch this shit. Body lock. Tries to back. Inside trip. Or it's an outside trip. Yeah, look.
Outside.
Yeah, a little outside trip. Check it out. Check it. And people don't think I'm an athlete here. Ready? He comes in. I'm not expecting it, right? There's the body lock. Watch. Boom, boom, boom. Outside trip. Stuffed. And he gives up and he started crying.
It wasn't even a trip. He just blocked the knee. You were going to go for a ride there.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, dude. I fucking wish. By the way, I think me and you are going to try to go to Factory X. Obviously, I'm friends with a lot of them up there now.
Yes.
Cody mentioned that we would... that we could come up there, so we got to figure out a time to go up there. When I go up there, there is not a chance in hell Yusuf is taking me down. It's just not. It's just not going to happen. You saw that was one of it. And then a little bit later, I think he even grabbed a single. I stuffed the head. I'm out of there. He's not fucking taking me down, dude. He's over 2 already. It's fucking easy.
I mean, that's definitely the content we should do. You and I have been thinking it was me. It should be you. Perfect.
I already did. I mean, I just proved it. I don't even know if you need to prove it again.
Next up, at UFC 313, we have a brand new co-main event of the evening. We have Justin Gaethje taking on Rafael Fiziev. Obviously, this is supposed to be Gaethje versus Hooker, but then Hooker went on his daughter's vlog, told the world he broke his fist, and he was out. Took a few days to put it all together, and now Rafael Fiziev is coming back after about a year and a half away, maybe a little more than that, and some knee surgery, and they are running this back. This is a rematch. This fight happened 2 years ago. It was a phenomenal fight, and here we go again. If you're wondering who won the first fight, it was Justin Gaethje. Yet he's a dog here. So let's go ahead and talk about why.
Do you think he won that fight?
The first one? No, I bet on Fiziev, so I'm still biased from that night.
I bet on Fiziev pretty heavy, but I think that Justin won that fight.
Yeah, because he shot a takedown. It was his first and only takedown in his UFC career. Was right then and there.
I don't even think he really needed it. I think he was just winning the fight.
I don't remember the details. I remember the details. I remember being frustrated because the whole breakdown going into that was Rafael Fiziev is one of the most technical strikers in the division, and then he fucking went blow for blow.
Yeah,
with Justin.
Like, don't brawl and you'll win.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He just fucking brawled with like the most aggressive brawler in the division. It was a great fight, and that's why we have it here. Justin Gaethje, 25-5 in his career. He's 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off that insane knockout loss to Max Holloway at UFC 300. He's taking on Rafael Fiziev, 12-3 in his career. He's 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that super close loss to Justin Gaethje. Right after that, he fought Gamrot. You're going to see a little red dot in Tapology. You're going to see that it was a finish. He blew his knee out. That was an injury loss. I think he won the first round. Did he not win the first round in the scorecards? I think he won the first round on the scorecards, blew his knee out in the second. That was the end of that fight. And then he got surgery, and now here he is. I'm not even going to break down each fighter. We know who they are. Justin Gaethje, college wrestler who doesn't wrestle. Rafael Fiziev, phenomenal striker, used to be the Tiger Muay Thai coach. And now here we are running it back. The first fight was a few years. He's still is he still the coach?
He does coaching stuff there on his Instagram.
Yeah. Crazy. The first fight was a few years ago. A lot of things have happened since then. Justin was knocked out cold. Fiziev, I say Fiziev or Fiziev. I think it's Fiziev officially is what the announcers say. Anik gets it right. And the likelihood of this fight being as good as the first one is honestly going to be pretty low. You can't guarantee a banger the way that the first one was. And to figure out who's going to win this fight, we need to figure out a couple of things. Is Justin's chin gone? If his chin is gone, then these odds make sense, and there's a ton of value on the Fiziev side. If the chin's not gone, and that was just a moment in time, and he's had a full year almost to heal up, and he's still got that full-blown chin, then why the hell is he a dog in a rematch fighting a guy that had a blown-out knee? And then the other half of that question is, what does Fiziev's knee look like? Is that better? Has he put things together? Is he going to be 100%? If I assume both of these guys are 100%, then Justin probably makes the most sense, right? But I'm not going to assume they're both 100%. It is a steep drop-off in this sport. Justin is not that young. He has always taken a ton of insane damage. And once that switch gets off, once you get put out like that the first time, it's just going to keep. We're going to see it with Max Holloway, unfortunately, and we're going to see it with Justin Gaethje, unfortunately. And I just think that Fiziev, even though he's coming back after knee surgery, I think he's the one with the more solid chin. He's a little more buttoned up. He's going to come out here. He's going to do his thing. I think Fiziev wins this fight, but I will be full-blown rooting for Justin Gaethje. When you hear my main card breakdown, you're going to get all fucking bent out of shape. The pick and who you're rooting for can be two separate things. A prediction and what you want to happen are two separate things, and that's what we're getting here. I'm predicting Fiziev to win. I'll be rooting for Justin Gaethje. We want, as fans, we want and need Justin Gaethje to stick around and be well, because every fight he's in is an absolute banger. What do you think, Jakey boy? Did you say right?
So why?
Okay. Who do you think wins this fight?
I'm going Fiziev. I went Fiziev last time. He's a better striker. I don't think the injuries. I think he works hard enough and is good enough before the injury. That it's not knee injuries these days aren't like what they used to be, and he's been out for a year and a half now, so he's been fully recovered for quite a while. Probably fully recovered for almost a year now. So he's a better striker. He's gonna be faster. I just think he finally just gets it done.
There we go. I think it's a. Do you think it's as good as the first one? It's hard to replicate that excitement.
I don't know. It's hard telling.
It is hard telling. What I do know is Justin will come out here, fight his ass off, and so will Fiziev. It's not going to be a staring contest. There's no feeling out. They're both just going to get after it. That's just how they are as fighters. $7,800 in DraftKings Fantasy for Justin Gaethje. Justin won this fight the first time. He won it. He used his wrestling. If he uses wrestling this time, could be interesting. So if you're on the Justin Gaethje side, then you're going to get the deal of a lifetime here. And it could just potentially be a world where everybody is just doing, what have you done for me lately? And unfortunately, lately, Justin didn't look too great. I am on the Fiziev side. I don't think I'm going to spend that $8,400, though. I think I'm just going to leave this alone. This is a 3-round fight. It is not a 5. Justin was prepared for 5 against Dan Hooker. Now that this has been all switcherooed out, we're down to 3. So we'll see.
Up Dan Hooker.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's going to be an interesting fight. I'm looking forward to it. Solid co-main event. Fiziev's the only person they could have thrown in there to make it as exciting as what Dan Hooker would have been. If you do want to check out any of the picks, the bets, the tools, or anything else that we do, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Next up, at UFC 313, we have the main event of the evening. We have the fight that everybody said wasn't going to happen. We have a fight where all of the longtime Ankalaev lovers and dick riders were yelling and screaming. The UFC's protecting Alex. Alex is ducking Ankalaev. He'll never fight him. The UFC is afraid. But here we are. Alex Pereira is defending his belt for the 5th time in a little bit over a year. He's fighting the one person that you all screamed, and when I say you all, I'm talking to the people that are just obsessed with Ankalaev, that you all screamed he would never fight and that he was being protected from. The person who is 2-0-2 in his last 4 fights. He's fighting the person who already fought for a title and couldn't win it. He's fighting for a person who earned his title shot with a decision win over Chinny Racic. A no contest over chinny-ass Johnny Walker. He actually got to Johnny Walker's chin one time. And a draw against Jan Blachowicz, who basically crippled his legs. That's the murderer's row resume of your hero, Ankalaev.
Are you about Rocket?
No, Jan Blachowicz chewed up Ankalaev's legs when he fought for the belt. This is Ankalaev's second title shot, not his first. This is
I know,
his
but you
second
didn't mention Ankalaev as Rakic as a competitor, did you?
I did. I said Chinny Racic. A decision win over Chinny Racic. Well, we saw Yuri put his ass out. Go ahead, pick Ankalaev. You know what? And I got a message for you then. We got Alex Pereira.
Any amount of money.
We got Alex Pereira, 12-2 in his career. He is 5-0 in his last 5. He's looking to defend his belt for the 5th time. Taking on Magomed Ankalaev, 3-0-2 in his last 5. He's coming out the decision win at UFC 308. A boring decision win, which was mostly striking. And that's the funny part about this. If you're rooting for Ankalaev, first of all, let me back up before people fucking lose their minds. Ankalaev can absolutely win this fight. He's a very good fighter. He's a well-rounded. No, hold on. He's a well-rounded guy. We know he can wrestle. We know he can strike. He's a well-rounded guy. Seemingly has a good chin, so he can definitely win this fight. My biggest issue is with the people yelling and screaming that Pereira was afraid of him. The people yelling and screaming, wanting Ankalaev to win this fight. Let me ask you this. Why, other than like being right in a YouTube comment section, why would you want to replace the most exciting, most active light heavyweight champion we have ever had with the most boring dude we've ever seen? Even Nina Drama could not make Ankalaev exciting in her video. That full interview was one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my life. This guy's got no personality whatsoever. His fighting style's not exciting. It's not even like everybody's convinced he's this drag-out wrestler. He's not even like Islam. Like, Islam's a drag-him-out wrestler, but Islam's an exciting wrestler. Magomed doesn't shoot as much as you think he does, and he's just a distant striker. Why would you want... I understand if you want to... Hey, I'm looking at the tape. I think Ankalaev wins, and here's the reasons. I can understand that. What I don't understand is why you would want him to be champion.
Well, if he becomes champion, you get the rematch, and you might get a trilogy. It could be 3 great fights.
Dude,
and if he doesn't win, who's next? Who does Alex fight? There's nobody left. So
he goes up to this. This is what I would want.
He's not going to fucking go fight. He's not fucking John Jones. He's not going to fight fucking Aspinall.
Fuck, dude. If Alex Pereira wins this fight, they strip John Jones and they do Jones versus Aspinall. I bet my life. Or they do Alex versus John Jones for the heavyweight title. And they're doing that immediately. My point is, we all agree.
Do you done it? They would have just done. They would just got it. This would have never happened if they would have.
Do you agree that Alex is one of the most exciting champions of all time?
I've never picked against Alex, so you're preaching to the choir here. I fucking love
Yeah.
Alex.
So that's my biggest issue is people basically rooting against them just to be right in the comments section. We have one of the most exciting guys in the world right in front of us. Why the fuck would we want to walk away from that? Now, if I'm breaking down the fight objectively, obviously Alex hits like an absolute freight train. We haven't really seen Ankalaev on ice skates, so I can't really say if he's chinny. We don't know what's going to happen if he eats a big one. It's not like Alex has knocked everybody out. He went toe-to-toe with Brunno Silva, wasn't able to get it done at that point in Brunno Silva's career. I do think Alex is going to win this fight. I'm going to pick him to win. I'm obviously very clearly biased. You can hear it in my voice. The reason I think he can win this fight is because Magomed is not an insane, nasty, diehard wrestler. We know he can wrestle, but it's not like he's in Islam, though he's taking down everybody he's ever tried to take down. So he may entertain the striking for a little bit. And if Alex starts to hit a flow state and starts to dot up Ankalaev, then Ankalaev's takedowns aren't like really well set up, then Alex can start to take over. Alex is also trolling him. Did you see the video where he like got fake knocked out and stuff? So he's obviously starting to have some fun out here too. And the last thing I'm going to say before I hand it over to you, sorry about the rant, is do you all remember when Ankalaev was literally begging for this title shot on Twitter? Begging? He tweeted, "I won't shoot a single takedown for the first 15 minutes if you give me this title shot, I promise." Jacob, that tweet has been deleted. And since then, we had a video of Alex and Glover wrestling in the snow. And Magomed said, "You better be prepared to do this for 25 minutes. What a bitch. Who do you think wins, Jacob?
Yeah, as I mentioned, Alex is I'm a big fucking fan of Alex. I've never picked against him. He is a former lock of the week. He actually was the first winner lock of the week of the 10 lock of the week streak. I hit 10 in a row, and Alex was number one. So he is más importante to me, to my legacy, and everything that I'm about. You guys know, if you want to win, you never bet against Brazil, right? And if he comes in and he smokes Ankalaev, nobody's going to be surprised, right? A big left hand, maybe a right hand, whatever it is, you know what I mean? They'll start thinking, I like Alex. Alex is a good fighter, there's no doubt about that. Angelo said he's an exciting guy. He bought in perfect. Nobody has bought into their own personality better than Alex, right? He understood what the people liked about him, and he just stuck with it, right? Doesn't say anything about Shama, right? And does the skits, and nobody has done more for themselves as far as self-publicity than Alex Pereira. He made himself who he is. And then I started looking at things a little different. And I'm like, you start getting into, he comes into Brunno Silva. Fine. He smokes Sean Strickland, right? And then he's fighting Izzy. Izzy's a good striker. Izzy almost puts him out, right? And then he's able to, find that KO on Izzy. But then Izzy does put him out, right? Then he's fighting Jan. And he's, the split with Jan that people think, I don't know if he won it. He's getting taken down. Then he's fighting Yuri. Yuri fucking sucks, right? Then he's fighting Jamal Hill. Well, Jamal Hill fucking sucks. Then he's fighting Yuri again. Oh, Yuri fucking sucks. We know that already. Then he's fighting Khalil Roundtree. Tough son of a bitch was landing.
Don't say he sucks. Yeah,
was landing some good stuff. Hurt Alex, right? So when I'm looking back on this, I'm like, well, Khalil is a good striker. Hurt Alex. Izzy. Good striker, knocked him out. Izzy, good striker, hurt Alex, right? I'm looking at Ankalaev, I'm watching his fights. I'm like, this guy's a good fucking striker. And he's a good fucking striker. And the way that he comes forward and the way Alex kind of fights backwards at times when pressured, I mean, this guy's getting hit. I'm seeing this guy getting hit, right? I'm seeing this guy getting hurt. I'm seeing this guy getting flatlined. And I'm trying to put one on one, and I'm thinking, does Alex Pereira have a Mickey Mouse resume? Oh. Is that a Mickey Mouse resume, Angelo? Is that a fraudulent? Is he not who we think he is? We're going to fucking find out. And guess what? We will find out. And Ankalaev is going to win this fight. And I don't think he needs the wrestling. I think he's a dangerous enough striker. I know people think, oh, the pillow fist, he's not aggressive. You watch that Rocky fight, he went right at that dude, pressuring forward. If anything, I think that something is going to happen inside of 2 rounds. It just feels like it's just got that energy where Ankalaev is just going to come forward. And honestly, people, obviously it's not like a fucking fraud check, right? Alex is getting, somebody actually said, I think somebody on Twitter was like, oh, could be a fraud check for Alex. It's like, what are you talking about? This guy's not a fucking fraud. He's a fucking world champion, whatever, 2 different weight classes. But, you know, when he's fought some decent strikers, he's been clipped a few different times. And Ankalaev might be the best of them all. So I'm going Ankalaev.
So the other narrative here is obviously Ramadan. Ramadan started March 1st. This is March 8th. There'll be 7 days into fasting. Obviously, Ankalaev can eat and drink, but only after sundown. That is going to affect the training. That's going to affect the fight itself. Actually, the sun will be down during the fight, so he can drink water between rounds. But that will the sun be down during? What time does the sun go down in Las Vegas? As fucking dumb as that sounds.
It's about the same time everywhere, Angelo. The sun
Not
sets
really.
at the rate of time zones. It just depends on what side of the time zone you're on.
So the sun will probably be down.
It's not like it's going to be fucking. The card starts.
Yeah, no. All right. So the sun, anyway. So he'll be able to
He
drink
can probably
between
get
rounds.
He can probably get the big thing probably is going to be able to get a snack before the fight, and he should be able to get a snack in before the fight, I believe.
So I don't know how big, because then you could always counter that whole thing with, well, Bilal won the title during Ramadan. So I don't know what a factor that is. I just want to put it out there because people do seem obsessed with that. I don't know.
Well, you said before, I don't want to. A lot of people don't want to fight during Ramadan because it does affect you. But they put it during Ramadan, and he said, you know what, got to take it, so we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah, and good for him, right? Because there's been people who've turned things down in the past, didn't work out for him. It's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. I am glad that we're getting this fight literally for no reason other than, all right, let's just see it. At this point, let's just see it. And you know what? Alex lost his middleweight belt to Izzy and then went up and won this belt. And maybe he loses this belt and then goes up and wins another. He only has a few years left. And he is one of the most exciting guys we have ever seen in this era of MMA. In the era where Conor McGregor is like a confirmed RAPIST, we've got Alex Pereira stepping up, making a superstar out of himself, and carrying us and carrying this sport for the last 2 years. I'm not ready to be done with that just yet. So I'm rooting big time for Alex here. Big time for Alex. And if you do want to check out any of the picks and the bets and the tools that we've got going on, including bets on this fight, go to WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 for an entire month. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. At the top, unlock everything you could ever want or need heading into a fight week. Also, download the app. It's 100% free. You will get push notifications. That's also free. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. Throw it on your phone. Make sure notifications are turned on and you are ready to go. Inside that app and on the website, you'll have full access to every single pick, bet, and tool that we offer. One of those tools is the Fight Simulator. The Fight Simulator is going to simulate fights 100,000 times. You'll get the outcomes of those simulations. You can use them to build DraftKings fantasy lineups or do whatever else you want with them. You also have a full data analyzer. If you're the type of person that likes to do their own research, the data analyzer has historical and future fights for every fighter on every card built out for the future. You can stack filters, see how many takedowns somebody gets on average and wins or losses, whatever you want to do. And then you could actually click on the button, watch the video right there. It'll pop up. You can watch all of their historical fights and do your research. You'll have full access to the line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, and the line movement for every fighter and every card. You're going to have full access to the Prop Hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets, and full access to everybody at WeWant Picks, not just the Baby Blues on tonight's show, but also Artem, BetSam, and the Artificial Intelligence. Every single thing I mentioned, everything I didn't mention, $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Jakey boy, any words for the peeps?
No, I was just looking at Sam's picks here. We have everything the same except for Fizzy and Sexy Mexi fight. So
you and I only have two different as well.
Oh, lucky you. Lucky you. Did you want to put money on the main event?
No, of course not, because I'm not.
No, because if Alex loses, then I'm double devastated.
What do we have different? Do we want to do the 500?
We can do the 500 again. Yeah, but I tried to do that yesterday.
Gutierrez and
Yeah, I have Sexy Mexi, and then I have. Oh fuck! All right, well we might wash.
Well, you have. They're both basically pick'ems. So actually,
yeah, let's do it. So what Jacob's referencing right now is last week we got into an argument, and I said let's just bet $500 whoever gets most picks correct. Ultimately, came down to 2 picks, and we were 1-1, so it was a wash. Yeah, we'll do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. All right, I'm hanging up. You got any last words for these people before I shut this thing down?
I appreciate all the viewers. I appreciate all the supporters. I appreciate. There was a few people I saw at the Apex that said hi and took pictures. I appreciate those people. And the opportunities that we get to go to the Apex and stuff like that. And, I think we're going to have some cool stuff.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the watch. This is a big week, so stay tuned for all the other content.
I literally just imagine somebody being like turn up the volume, like
right, to get their ear closer.
Like what? What does he say?
Who hasn't been through it enough times as I have?
Lock of the week will probably be out tomorrow, I imagine.
There we go. Thanks for the watch, guys. We appreciate every last one of you.